Hey, can you say get disarranged? Say get disarranged. Say it. Can you say get disarranged?
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Woo woo.
Welcome to the Disarrangement, hosted by the two coolest cats around, Austin Blakely and Nick Branscombe. Prepare to get disarranged.
Come on, come all, for what writes and undulates in your ears is not for the faint of heart. Behold! Yes, yes, Pebbles. Behold! This is the Disarrangement with your host, Austin Blakely and Nick Branscombe. How's it hanging, Nick?
Greetings, friends of Earth and beyond.
Have you had a good week, Nick?
So far.
So far,
Yeah.
for us, it's technically Monday.
Yeah.
It'll be Friday for y'all. So.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that this has been a good week.
Yeah,
even though I don't really know for sure if it will be or not.
It's been a good week.
Yeah.
It's been a good week.
Yeah.
So what about last week? Was last week at least good?
I don't even remember what happened last week, to be honest with you. I'm gonna say slightly.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good at least.
Yeah.
So we have a guest, and we're missing a guest, just like last week. We have my lovely girlfriend, Stephanie Tutor. Woo!
Hello.
And we was supposed to have Nick's wonderful girlfriend, Brianna, on the episode with her. But, scheduling and things and life happens and we move with it,
See, I thought we were supposed to do a hostile takeover, and it was just supposed to be me and Brianna.
That's what I think was going to happen. A hostile takeover.
Yeah.
We're like tied. You and me are like tied up in the corner somewhere.
Yeah.
That can be arranged, Nicholas.
So
Don't tempt me.
I think what I'm gonna do is we'll just schedule another time and get her on here. I think y'all both need to not necessarily take over the podcast, but join it and give it some feminine flair. So anyway, I typically talk to you, Nick, about things before I introduce the host, but I've got a little bit of a story for you that I said host, our guest rather.
I mean, it is my house.
But yeah. So you are the host too.
Yeah.
But so we're all hosts here.
I'm
That's
a
awesome.
silent
Yeah.
host. That's my
Silent
thing. I'm
host.
usually on the other side of that
You
door.
welcome people, like when we have guests here, you're always welcoming them to your home.
I like for my home to be a welcoming place. I want people to feel at home here.
Oh yeah.
I come to my house, be fed, be watered, I don't know, just take off your corset and spread
you already
out.
have some motherly or grandmotherly like qualities about you.
I am secretly a 90-year-old woman, so yes,
Yes.
thank you for throwing the grandmotherly in there.
I
Appreciate
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So the only thing that wasn't welcoming is the trash downstairs that I need to get outside. So I apologize, Nick.
I didn't even notice.
It's kind of smelly down there. But I'll eventually get it out. But anyway, so the other day, me and Steph watched all the Jackass movies that are currently out on DVD. And so I guess preparing for inevitably watching the newest one, which I still haven't done.
That's great.
But yeah, I've heard that there's many, many wieners. That is what I've heard. So,
Yes, quite.
And we expect nothing less.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But before this one, I had not yet seen like Steve-O's penis, and you may or may not see it in this one.
You may or may not see it.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't want to get too spoilery or.
Yeah, evidently, I remember Steve-O talking about it, and there were like many things that they wanted to do to Steve-O's wiener. But there was one thing that Steve-O really wanted to do, and I can't remember what it was. But Johnny told him no because there was too many wieners in the movie. Like he was just saying, like, this is just it's getting out of hand. Like there's too many wiener scenes, and then he pitched this thing that was supposed to happen to Steve-O's wiener. And Steve-O was just like, nah, Johnny, there's too many wieners in this movie. We can't do that. But anyway, but as you know, with Jackass, it's all about, stunts and things, but after the first movie, it definitely became a lot more bulls involved, which are very fucking scary.
Yes.
I don't think bulls are really scary in person. I just think bulls, like, the way they're using them, if that sort of makes sense. That's what scares me about it.
Kind of like me.
Well, they're scary if you...
No, you're just a Taurus. You're not a scary bull.
I can be.
They're using bulls to, like, hurt themselves,
Well,
I
yeah.
guess.
Okay, I mean,
I
that's
definitely
fair.
feel like a bull is scary if it's hurtling towards you at full speed.
Yeah,
Then
absolutely.
then I'm frightened.
They're using a lot of bulls, basically. And so I wondered, like, how do, just in normal hours, like, let's say it's not a situation of, like, let's let a bull out into the pen or whatever. Like, how do you keep them from charging in a normal base? So I was like, I wanted to figure out how they controlled them, basically. And so, of course, I eventually thought about it enough to where I Googled it. And you won't believe how farmers keep their bulls from charging. Do y'all have any idea?
No, because my first thought is you just get out of the way.
Just get out of the way.
Like,
Well,
that
yeah.
bull's going to do what it wants.
Maybe don't like fuck with it.
Well, I mean, that's a good point, but it's not what you think. You actually just take away their credit card.
I mean, fair. That would have been my second guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, that big setup.
Yeah, that was a lot of
Y'all
setup.
fed into that one with me, and I was
I
like,
figured
I'm
that's-
gonna let it keep going.
I figured that's where it was going. But you know,
Yeah.
Okay,
I was rolling with it.
so that's my bad dad joke for the time. But anyway, so Steph, how the hell you doing?
I'm doing all right.
How the hell are you doing?
How the hell you doing?
I mean,
I knew how you was doing beforehand.
Yeah.
because we kind of lived together.
yeah.
But have you ever been on a podcast before?
No. I can't
We
say I
had
have.
neither 13 episodes ago.
Yeah.
No, we had.
No,
been.
we've been on a
Okay.
couple with like
yeah,
the
'cause
band
you
and
had
stuff.
been-
Yeah.
You'd been on that one podcast with that one group of.
Yeah, that one
Gentlemen.
podcast with that one dude.
I don't know. Listen, I don't remember the name of the band. I feel like there were two guys in that band that had the same name.
It was.
They're from out Wilkesboro.
Well, there. So I think we've done
The
like
last one we did was I think the one you're talking about.
it was in High Point.
It was in High Point.
Yeah.
and that was
High
with what is their
Yeah.
band? I know the dude's name.
Fair
was
Warning,
Brian.
I think, is the band's
Fair
name.
Warning.
The guy's name was Brian Hall.
I knew it was Brian Hall.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Nah,
I
Nah, that's
love
not the
his
one I'm
Facebook
thinking
posts.
about. I thought these were
I don't
a
remember
bunch
doing
of,
a podcast
bunch
in
of guys out
Wilkesboro.
of. I think
Oh,
the guys
you're
are
talking
from
about
Wilkesboro.
what was it? J3. It was with the dudes
Oh,
from
right. So we've been on 3 then. Yeah,
yeah.
we did their podcast a few years ago. And then back in like 2015, if you remember,
That
we
was the
did
first
the
podcast
Less
we did.
Desirables.
Less
Oh, that
Desirables.
was before my time.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of those podcasts. I don't know if they're still. I know the Less Desirables.
Less Desirables
are
still
going.
goes, yeah. I don't think J3, I don't think those guys do it much anymore.
Okay. But what about? I can't even remember what the other podcast was.
I don't
Brian Hall's
either.
podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, there was more dudes involved. That's just who I remember. But I also watch his Facebook posts too because they're just
He's hilarious.
God, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's and just the amount of stuff he will put his face on, like
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. So to just kind of give you an explanation of some of these posts.
Please do.
he just okay. So you know Glenn posts like Glenn
Yeah.
Pounds posts.
Yeah. I
Okay,
do.
so he'll basically take a Glenn Pounds post that's not quite as disgusting.
Okay.
I'm not saying he steals them from Glenn. I'm just saying that's the kind of stuff
That's
he
the
goes
vibe.
for. And he'll
Okay.
find it and he'll just like badly Photoshop his face in it. And it's just so fucking funny. It's a lot of the times he'll
It's like his face on like a naked guy on a bicycle
yeah,
or
just
something
shit
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
It's got it so
It's
good.
like self-insert fanfic of
Yeah.
Glenn Pound's post.
Glenn Pound's posts.
Yeah. Okay.
Glenn's posts are funny, but Glenn's posts can get gross
I mean-
really quickly.
It
like-
depends
like,
on your sense of humor, then, doesn't it?
Like Father Like Son too. I don't know if I'm sure you saw the other day the one that Corey posted when you're
I'm not sure.
So it's like a
Yeah,
guy
Corey
in his-
posts some funny shit too.
Yeah,
so-
it was a dude in the driver's seat, like kind of looking like just straight out the windshield looking all scared and stuff. It's like when you get off the ramp at 52
Yep.
North.
Oh, at Akron Drive.
At Akron Drive, and then there's
Yeah.
that methed out lady standing there.
Yes.
That was good. I liked
Yeah,
it.
goodness.
Corey's got some funny shit. Great sense of humor in that family.
Oh, yes.
Great sense of humor. But so basically, I think what was inevitably going to happen is you and Brianna was just going to kind of help us hit a feminine group of listeners potentially.
Okay, but like you guys already had Danny on the podcast.
Well, yeah, we did have Danny.
Shout out to Danny. I'm sad that you didn't end up coming to my house so that I could meet you. I was very excited for that, but we'll meet.
We'll go
another
see
day.
her.
She's,
Yeah.
We'll go see her.
We'll meet another day.
She's
She's
busy.
incredible.
She's busy doing awesome things right now. So,
Yeah. Danny's on. She's on a roller coaster right now, and let's just hope it keeps going up. I think it will. She's
Putting
just
all that
incredible.
good energy out into the universe for you, Angel.
Yeah.
I want that for you.
Oh, we're definitely on your side because it's so cool to watch a musician grow so much so quickly, and it's not that like Danny was bad before. I'm just talking about her like her overall growth necessarily.
Yeah.
Like just now she's like gigging all the time. She's always got something to do, and that's ultimately what you want when you're a musician is never a dull moment.
Oh yeah. Well, watching a musician grow can also be entertaining, like R. Kelly.
Like R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Care to elaborate on that, Nicholas? Because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh god.
Well, he's in jail for
He's in jail
for like 30 years
Yeah,
now
so-
because
so-
he sexually assaulted some people.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
so Danny, if there's a
yeah.
word of advice,
Don't do that.
piss on a 13-year-old.
Yeah. I don't know. The vibe that I got from her, she doesn't strike me as the kind of person that would really be into that.
Oh
So,
no,
like,
no.
I mean, not that
I was so
we just leave minors out of
but
everything.
but
babe.
it's like with R. Kelly, it's just like, man, he was on the highest of highs, and to be that terrible of a person, like
he was Chris Brown before Chris Brown was Chris Brown. Like literally R. Kelly was like establishing that soul hip hop spot and filling it for everyone. Like everyone loved R. Kelly. Like there wasn't a person who didn't listen to R. Kelly when he was big. But the problem, I think the problem that really arises is that he was the adult in this situation, regardless if the 13-year-old tells you she wants it. Like that's I don't know. There may have been other allegations that I'm missing out on.
Well,
I just remember a video of the girl in court going, "No, I wanted it. Like,
yeah,
I asked for it."
but it all comes down to we in this country have decided that I think by and large the age of consent is 16 years old.
Yeah.
Until you
And that's
are
still
six-
pushing it.
Yeah, like
Yeah, you
that
have to-
is
you have to have
definitely
parents'
pushing it.
approval.
All right.
Still pushing it.
Definitely pushing
At
it.
16, you still have to have parents' approval, right?
Yes, you do, because there are things called, I believe, Romeo and Juliet laws. Now, I have not researched that. I could, because my phone's sitting right here in my lap, but I'm not going to right at this moment because it brings up some bad memories for me that we don't need to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, we can. The long and short of it is,
We
folks,
can, but we don't need to.
The long and short of it is that I did have a significant other cheat on me with a 16-year-old when he was 21.
Oh, so that's why you looked it up.
I wasn't the one that looked it up. It was his mama that looked it up, actually.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. But again, we don't need to get into that. But what I was getting at with the whole age of consent thing is that even if that 13-year-old said that she wanted it, baby girl, you ain't old enough to know what you really want. All right?
Okay, so yeah,
and
so,
certainly ain't old enough to be getting it from
Exactly.
no grown-ass man.
Exactly. So evidently Romeo and Juliet laws are just age of consent reform. Mm-hmm. So this is Wikipedia. I don't know how true this is. But if we go by Wikipedia, many states have adopted close in age exemptions.
Yes.
These laws, known as Romeo and Juliet laws, provide that a person can legally have consensual sex with a minor provided that he or she is not more than a given number of years older. So I guess it would be up to the state to go, if this 16-year-old and this 18-year-old, which I understand. I definitely get that because that's at the age that kids are fucking around, really. That I'm not saying that you inevitably want that out of your children.
No.
I'm just saying that those are the ages it's most likely gonna happen. So, you know, but if it's a 13-year-old and a 30-year-old, yeah, there's a problem there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like when I was in high school, I went on several dates with, I won't mention the girl's name, but I went on several dates with a girl that was like a grade above me, but I was like 16 or 17, probably 17, and
But
she was
that's
she was like 19.
That, yeah.
You know, so I mean, like it.
So I think the premise behind the Romeo and Juliet laws is that between like a certain number of years, kind of around your age, you are technically in like the same physiological, emotional, psychological like development bands, so to speak.
And males are typically behind on that, so it's not surprising if an 18-year-old male and a 16-year-old female. I mean, our age difference is what, 3 years?
Yes, but we also didn't find each other until we were well into our 20s.
Yeah. But
you know, we had
that's
both
kind of what
developed
I'm trying
fully,
to say, though,
like,
is it wouldn't have been super abnormal, like, given the case if you were 18 and I was 21.
Like, yeah, like
that
I mean,
wouldn't have been super abnormal.
That to me is still inappropriate, but that's mostly due to like the discrepancy in like what legally you can do at those ages. Like, I don't feel that it's necessarily appropriate for an 18-year-old to be dating a 21-year-old because that 21-year-old has no business buying alcohol for that 18-year-old.
Well, that's different. That's it depends on the individuals, I would say.
Yeah, I would say that, yes.
But if
like,
you're 18,
but
also
you're
too,
legally
have
an adult
choice.
and you can do whatever you
well,
want.
also,
Like,
too,
far be it for me to tell you how to
The
live your
legal
life, Angel.
drinking age in the United States is 21, but I think
Yes.
in other countries,
it's
18.
significantly lower.
Yeah,
it's lower.
So,
It's lower than
I
18 in
think
a lot of places.
Steph, when you were overseas, when you were younger, you got to drink maybe a pint at dinner or something?
I did, because I studied abroad. I went to Germany, Austria, and Switzerland for 10 days when I was in high school. Shout out to Frau PQ. Miss you. But yes, so I was allowed, and my parents did have to sign a permission slip. Shout out to Mom and Yankee for doing that
my
for me.
child can get drunk.
No, it wasn't.
My child can
It
try
wasn't-
beer.
It wasn't getting drunk. It was trying beer.
Okay.
So
That would be
I was
funny,
allowed to have
That would have been fun.
I was
My
allowed to
kid can be
have-
fucked up.
I was allowed to have no more than one beer at dinner, or one glass of wine.
Was that for
at
the whole
dinner.
trip or just like each day?
Just each dinner.
Oh, okay.
However,
There's a way to cheat.
Well, yes. Did my fellow students find that they did not like beer quite as much as I appreciated it? And did they sometimes pass me their glasses with about, that much left in it and say, hey, here, finish this? Yeah, of course they did. That first night in Vienna, do I remember a whole lot of that? No, absolutely not, I don't. But, when that's also why I don't drink a lot of beer now, is because I got spoiled. I got spoiled on that good
mead.
that good Deutsche beer. Yeah. So good.
Yeah, I need to go to Europe.
She's
you do.
she's been overseas a couple times, so
I have.
I expect myself going at some point.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so with that R. Kelly conversation being said, where did that even start?
You were talking about
We're
musicians
talking
growing.
About, the
Oh
musician.
yeah, musicians growing. Okay, okay, yeah. It's really cool to watch a musician go through the hoops, if you will, because like they're either gliding through them or they're having to battle through them, and either way, on the other side, it turns them into an amazing musician. It's like a caterpillar going in its cocoon, but it doesn't stay in the cocoon. It has to like do shit in there or something. And then when it comes out, you'll see what the butterfly or moth is when you get it. Anyways. So Steph, we can kind of guide this wherever you want to go.
Okay.
I think we stemmed it on where we're stopping when it comes to politics is where we've stemmed it.
Well,
but other than that, I think everything's free to talk with you.
Yes, and there are a couple of reasons that I don't want to talk politics. First of all, I don't want to get upset with y'all. I would really rather not get upset with y'all.
Yeah.
If I don't have to stress myself out like that.
Well, some people can discuss things, and
I am one of those people. I am
just
very
like, let's not talk about it.
Well, the thing is, I'm very tender-hearted, and I take a lot of stuff personal.
Yeah.
All right, because for me, a lot of my beliefs are personal.
Yeah.
Very personal. So, you know, I don't like to talk about politics. I also have some unresolved childhood trauma when it comes to childhood trauma. I've just got unresolved trauma when it comes to talking about politics. Will I need to talk about that in therapy in the future when I can afford a therapist? Hell yeah.
I think we all have
Absolutely.
those
Absolutely.
things where it's
it
like,
will come up in my therapy sessions.
yeah, when do
absolutely.
we need to talk to the therapist and what do we talk about?
I've
got a list.
Yeah, like I have a running list of all of the shit we're gonna have to work through. So to my future therapist, I'm sorry, but also you're welcome because I have tried to organize some of it for you.
So, but other than that, it's free game. So
Yes.
I know a tremendous amount about you. So I think it's,
I am
think-
pretty much an open book. I mean,
well, yeah. Well, I mean, I've been living with you for 3 years now, a little over 3 years.
wait a second. No.
How long have we lived
Almost
together?
3
Okay,
years.
so I moved in with you in an informal but we'll go ahead and say permanent capacity when Hurricane Flo ripped through, which I believe was September of 2018.
Hurricane Flo.
We ended up living
September.
together before you ever told me that you
is
loved
that the
me.
progressive
Really?
hurricane?
Yes, because
didn't
you
know
told me
that.
that you loved me on November 3rd of 2018. I remember this because that was the day that your niece got married. And
Oh, okay.
we went to Needham's party immediately after.
I love
And
you, baby. Let's go to Needham's.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, he didn't tell me he loved me until after we got home from
Oh, okay.
Needham's. Yeah.
Hurricane Flo. What
Mid-September.
the hell? Well, I was hoping it would just give me the year.
Well,
it
it's Hurricane
happened.
Florence. We just call her Flo for short.
Florence.
Yeah. Here. I can also double check.
Let's
No,
see.
I don't want to do that. 'cause
Yeah,
I've
it was
got-
August 31st of
August
2018.
31st?
It ran August 31st to September 18th of 2018.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So with it being 2018, that's what we're coming up on
3 years this September?
3
No.
years. 4 years.
4 years this September.
Coming up on 4 years.
3 of which we've lived,
Interesting.
almost 3 of which we've lived in this house.
Yeah, the more you know.
The more you know.
The more
Yeah.
you know. So I feel like if there's anything that Nick wanted to know about you, here's the time to do it.
Oh, yes. Ask me anything, Nicholas. I'll tell you.
Well, so you like we talked about earlier, you have an interview tomorrow for your new job.
I do indeed.
And so you're going to be what grade?
So that is an interesting question.
She's going to be a teacher for context.
Yes. So for context, I have an interview tomorrow at one of our local high schools to be a member of their English department, and I'm very excited. That was not what I went to school for. I actually got my degree in theater and didn't end up working in that. I ended up working in customer service, which I think we can all attest, not good for the brain, not good for the mental health, not good for the heart either. So I
Pebbles
decided
needs
that
to
I
see
was
Nick.
going to go get my certification to teach. But first I was going to substitute teach. So I did end up substitute teaching at this very same high school. Long-term taught an English class, actually 2 freshman English classes, 1 standard, 1 honors, and a senior English class. And absolutely loved it. They ended up filling that position, so I didn't stay with those kids the whole semester, but high school English is what I'm getting my certification in. But I believe, and this is something that I will be asking about in my interview tomorrow. So, if any of my interviewers happen to be watching, keep an eye out for this question tomorrow. I'm going to be asking kind of how they determine who is going to be teaching what grade level, or if it rotates. Because honestly, I have no idea.
So basically just high school.
Yeah.
High school
I'll teach
English,
any of it.
whether it's 9th through 12th.
Whether
It could
it's
be any of it.
it's the what's the one I read as a freshman, the one with the Cyclops, what was that called?
The Odyssey.
The
Odyssey.
Odyssey. Yeah. I think I read that as a freshman. Mm-hmm. Then
That is on the freshman curriculum for the state of North Carolina. You
yeah.
are correct.
And then I don't remember
Y'all
what-
did Beowulf last year, didn't you?
The seniors did Beowulf, but the
Seniors
freshmen
did
did do the Odyssey, and I was not teaching them the Odyssey because they had brought in their full-time teacher by that point.
Okay.
However, she did have to go out for medical reasons for just a few days before spring break, and I did get to watch Oh Brother Where Art Thou with
I was
the
about to
kids.
say, that was gonna be like fun fact, a movie we all love
Yes.
is based
Brother
on that
Where
book.
Art Thou is an incredible movie.
Love that
Fabulous,
movie.
Incredible
absolutely fabulous.
Soundtrack is great too.
Yes, and a
I
great
actually
retelling of the
was the
Odyssey.
first one who showed you that movie,
Yes,
which
you
was very
were.
interesting since she is a theater major.
I am.
She's seen like every freaking movie.
I-
And I was
I
like,
wouldn't
you've
say
never
that I've
seen
seen
Oh
discussions
Brother
about
Where Art
movies
Thou?
too.
I wouldn't say that I've seen every movie because there are.
You've seen a lot of you know a lot of movies that I don't know.
I do.
And you've shown me a lot of good ones, but just the
I
fact
have.
that I showed you
I like
Oh Brother
good
Where Art
movies.
Thou just makes
I like
me
bad movies.
grand.
I love them.
I told I don't know how Steph will react to this when I say this, and we can touch on it later talking about movies. But Saturday I lost my Breakfast Club virginity.
Really?
Yeah,
About damn
Saturday.
I know,
time.
right? I've
Who
been
took
meaning to
that?
watch it for a long time.
Brianna.
Was
Huh?
it Brianna?
Was
Did she
Brianna?
show you that?
Well, I knew she liked it. She didn't. I mean, it was like her favorite '80s movie, but she never like really sat down and said, "We're watching this." We were looking for movies to watch, and I was like, "Well, she likes The Breakfast Club. I hadn't seen it, so let's
a
watch
good
that
movie.
one."
How'd you
Yeah.
feel? Did you
I
like
liked it. It was. I didn't expect it to get as serious as it got.
Yeah.
yeah.
There
I don't
towards
think
the middle,
anybody
but
did.
I liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
I meant to mention because I didn't mention it formally. Come here, hon.
Oh, Pebbles.
Pebbles.
I'm gonna see if I can get her in camera.
Come here, baby. Come here.
This
Yeah.
is Pebbles. She's also a guest. She's here for the ladies.
She's been cleaning my feet.
She's so. It's a free service that she offers to
Yeah.
every guest that comes into our home. Complimentary feet cleaning.
Yep.
She's
Yeah.
very good at it.
So she's gonna open up the episode. We got her to say get disarranged. So,
Mwah. Thank you, baby. Thank you.
but anyway, so she's a little unsettled. If you hear her shake or make a noise, it's just Pebbles.
All right.
We'll
Back
have
up
a
off me,
Pebbles
baby.
cam eventually.
There we go.
But yes, just the way she's looking in the camera. But anyways, so I think we can get back to movies. I want to go back to movies for sure.
Well, we'll have to
But,
because I do have something I want to talk about very briefly in
Yeah.
regards to movies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I guess I can just go ahead and lead right into
If
it.
you want
There
to.
was some unfortunate news that I got just before we started this podcast. That beloved actress and singer-songwriter Olivia Newton-John has passed.
Oh,
Which is
really?
very sad.
Yes, Nicholas.
From Greece?
Yes,
Her?
from
Oh,
Greece.
Oh no.
So to her family, our deepest condolences.
wonder if that's
She
on
was
Facebook now.
phenomenal, amazing, iconic, superb, divine. And to the memory of Olivia Newton-John, we are all hopelessly devoted to you.
Well said. Well said. Well said.
I only ever saw her in Greece, but I mean, it was a good performance.
Yeah. There was a lot of good stuff that came from her camp, but it's
Absolutely.
just still kind of hit hard,
Yeah.
And so this episode will be for whatever it's worth. This episode
Is dedicated
is
to her
dedicated to Olivia Newton-John.
memory. Yeah.
It's weird. I haven't seen any Facebook posts about it.
She just read it like as we were sitting down. I think you had like just walked
Okay,
in
yeah,
the door.
I see all the
Yeah.
news articles now.
Yes.
Dies at age 73.
Yeah, I think
You said she was battling cancer?
yes, I believe what I had read in that article. Let me pull that back up actually.
That kind of sucks for John Travolta too, in a sense, because his wife died of I don't know. I remember if it was cancer or something
When was
like
that?
a few years ago.
Oh shit! I didn't know his wife died.
Yeah,
I knew his son died,
or
whatever, but-
they may not have been together when she died. I don't remember that they
maybe his ex-wife.
her name was.
I thought he was still married.
But
on,
on
I'll
the
find
subject of Olivia Newton-John and cancer, the article that I read from CNN.com, it's an article by Brandon Griggs. It says, the singer revealed in September 2018 that she was treating cancer at the base of her spine. It was her third cancer diagnosis following bouts with breast cancer in the early 90s and in 2017. So I don't know. And of course, with her just having passed, I believe today, there's not anything that's going to be out for a while as far as her cause of death, if they even decide to publish that, which they are well within their rights not to.
Yeah, if you've got cancer at the base of your spine, that's never a good thing.
Well, I mean, my cousin Sherry had a cancerous growth on her back, and luckily she had it surgically removed, but it was like the size of a softball. She still has recurring back issues. It caused her all kinds of issues where she is, in pain most of the time, and she doesn't feel good
where they removed
most of the time.
Kind of nerve.
Yeah, and it had been like growing back there, and of course I was younger when all of this was happening. I was, somewhere between 9 and 14.
You need to cut on some lights.
Oh, here, I got you. I got you.
You do it, hon.
Yeah, so I can do it here.
I just saw, so John Travolta and Kelly Preston got married in 1991, and they remained married until her death in 2020.
That's what I thought. They stayed married, but I didn't know she had died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she died in 2020.
Sad. There's too many people dying. But, there we go.
How do we feel now?
Let there be light.
I feel illuminated.
Good.
Yeah. So, but also too, when it comes to, things that you're interested in, I mean, you can tell us everything you're interested in, but I know you like cards.
Yeah, I do.
And I like cards, but I like different kinds of cards.
Yeah. Well, I like those cards too.
I like playing cards and Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
And I do like those cards. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a sweet little nerd child at heart. I'm just not as into them as you are. I don't know a whole lot. I like to look at them though. I love the look of a good Pokemon card.
But she dabbles in tarot.
I do.
And I think it would be fitting for us to have a reading done, Nick.
Okay.
I don't know if we should have it done collectively or if we should do it separately. What do you think?
That's kind of up to y'all. I read
How do you
for
feel
you
about
all
it,
the
Nick?
time.
Are you cool?
Yeah.
Cool with being read?
Yeah.
He's cool.
Some people don't like it, so let's do it individual then.
Okay.
Let's do it individual.
All right. So we're gonna open this up first and foremost. I'm gonna set those to the side. I'm gonna introduce what this this deck that I have is, because this is my favorite tarot deck. It's the one that I use most often. I have kind of two that are my go-tos. This one is the Star Spinner Tarot. I believe I got this on Etsy. And what I really enjoy about this tarot is that it is, so far, one of the most inclusive tarot I have ever found. The depictions of human characters in tarot most often are white people. And in this case, you see a lot of people of color, which I really enjoy. It also hits another inclusivity box because it comes with not one, but 4 different versions of the Lover's card. So I'm going to see if I can find that.
The Lover's card, Nick, I'm not sure exactly what it means, but it typically has a couple on it.
Yeah. So
it just kind of, I guess makes people feel better about the reading. If they have a card, they kind of...
It's all about making sure that the cards resonate with you and that your energy's attune. If you want to get into kind of the vernacular there. Nice English teacher vocab.
I was about to say, nice word.
English teacher vocab coming in clutch for me there.
What was it that I said the other day that I was like, I don't think I've ever said that ever. Because you said, I almost threw up.
Strife. It was the word strife. Yeah.
I said the word strife.
Strife.
And I was just kind of like,
what does strife mean?
How did that come out of my mouth?
So strife is, struggle, hardship.
Like a struggle,
okay.
Hardship.
Struggle or hardship.
I think we were talking about, we've been watching the Godfather movies.
Yes, we have.
So,
been on some movie kicks lately, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, Austin...
It's been movies.
Nicholas, Austin said to me that he wanted to watch gangster or mobster movies, and I was like, okay, that sounds really good.
But I'd never seen The Godfather.
And then he said he'd never seen The Godfather, and I said, well, honey, that's where we're going to fucking start.
I think we're an hour into the last one. We haven't really finished it.
Though I did read on the Godfather wiki that Francis Ford Coppola actually considers The Godfather to be a 2-part series, with part 3 technically being an epilogue that is not really part of the core story. So yeah, that's a
Is
little bit of fun fact
Is
there.
Goodfellas
Is it real? I
being
don't know.
thrown in the mix?
Yeah,
Of course
we
Goodfellas
eventually
is
have.
being
I've
thrown
watched
in
it
the mix.
before,
There's gonna
but
be some
we're
Tarantino in
we're
there.
gonna have to watch. Yeah, pretty much anything gangster or mobster. I
Yeah.
think we're gonna have to watch.
All right, so I have isolated our 4 versions of the lovers. So we've got this one here, very pretty, and this one also pretty. So these are the 2 that depict what could be considered kind of your standard heterosexual couples, because they do appear to be.
That's the point.
Yes, okay, so they look naked. The original Rider White, like the kind of the tarot imagery that everyone sort of knows, I believe that the depiction of the couple there, it's supposed to be hearkening back to Adam and Eve.
Okay,
I think
that makes
so.
sense.
Now, don't quote me on that, because again, I'm not sure, and I don't use a Rider White tarot deck and haven't for a while. But yeah, so, you know, by all appearances, these appear to be your standard heterosexual male-female couple. And then these, we have
Yeah, it definitely looks
homosexual-
like Adam and Eve.
a homosexual male couple, and then we have a homosexual female couple.
Oh, cool.
You know, so
Yeah.
we've got a little bit of something for everybody. So I am going to hand these to you, Nicholas, and you can just kind of spend a little time with those and pick the one that resonates with you the most.
Okay. Well, I would assume the homosexual one would not be chosen.
You never
Unless-
know, Nicholas. And also the lover's card, I will go ahead and point out, because everyone kind of assumes, oh, that means, you know, like your traditional lovers in a traditional sense. Please pardon me while I remove my
So it
earrings.
could be
They're
like
poking me.
it could be like, so the homosexual one could also just be like a bromance type of deal.
Yes. So the
Okay.
lover's card usually deals with relationships of any kind, including business relationships. You know, so it doesn't necessarily mean a lover literally,
Or does it?
or does it? Yeah. Well, I mean, we're talking about cards not necessarily
Wait, so
meaning
what-
exactly what you think they would mean. Harkening back to that fateful day, November 3rd of 2018, at Needham's party, you may recall I was doing tarot readings.
I was probably hammered. I don't remember.
Probably. I believe you might have been. But I did a reading for our nephew, Gage, and
Yes.
ended up pulling the death card. Gage will not let me read for him anymore, even though I have explained to him time and time again that the death card doesn't mean literal death. It means the end of a chapter. It means a transformation, the end of a cycle, a new beginning.
Well, he was like real young and in high school.
Yeah,
then,
he
you
was
know,
like
so
17.
He was-
yeah.
He was
Completely
just a wee
freaked
baby
out.
at the time.
So what does it mean? Like, so if say I choose the woman homosexual one, like what? So
It doesn't affect the meaning of the card.
It's
in any
whatever
way,
you're
shape, or form.
attached to. Like that's
Yeah.
what it is. Like it's what
Yeah.
you want. Like you've got a free choice there. It doesn't mean you have to have lesbian sex with somebody.
No.
It just means that card called to you.
Yeah.
That's all. It's what it's really
I
about.
guess I'll choose
Because again,
this one.
it's not going
Which
to.
one?
Yeah, fair
That's-
enough.
that's the one I
that
like.
was. Yeah, that was the
Okay.
one that was already in the deck.
So then I hand these to Blakely then.
You can.
Well, I like that one.
Yeah.
So we can just put that one in the
Yeah.
deck.
Okay.
And then she's
So
gonna
that one
read
comes
for
back
us.
to me. And then what I'm going to ask
And
you
here's
to
your spare cards.
do. Yeah, I'll grab that in just a second, baby. Don't throw them. Be
Well,
nice.
no, it's funny because
Hey.
it's just on her, and all you can see is my hand.
Listen, you talk about the cards talking shit to you. If you throw them, they're going to be mad
I'm
at
not
you.
gonna throw them. I'm not gonna throw
Be
them.
throwing the cards.
No, it was me doing a bit. I was doing a bit because my hand. It's just funny.
I know.
Y'all will have to see it like when this episode comes out, but it's,
just a
funny.
disembodied.
I know
Yeah,
Steph
it's
said she
just
didn't
fun.
want to be upset with either of us, but I mean, if y'all were to like get into some silly argument over something, I mean, that might spark viewership up. I'm just saying. So
Listen,
If we could have a
No.
little bit of a battle, I'm just kidding.
I know what
wouldn't
we're
do it.
gonna have
wouldn't
an argument
do it.
about.
About the yeah.
Yeah.
Should we talk about that?
We'll get to that. Well, let's
sure?
get this
get to it.
reading.
Let's do this.
Let's get this
Yeah.
reading out of the way first, and then
Okay.
we'll go back to the same argument that we've been having since pretty much day one. Never gets
That
old, never
might be
get
good
tired of it.
content, actually. Now that
Listen.
I'm thinking about it.
And then we can put it to the viewers and see who's right. And
I'm
again, we're not talking. You know what?
I'm so ready. Y'all have to do it now. Now it's like it's kind of set in
gracious.
stone now.
All right, so Nicholas, I have shuffled these to clear the energy, but I want you to hang on to these, shuffle them just a little bit, and let them get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, they need to know you. You gotta put your
energy.
Energy. In
Yeah.
it.
My gosh, I can't shuffle these cards at all.
So, if just to kind of chat
Yeah.
while he's doing that, our argument
Here we go.
has to do with a jetpack.
Yes, and we're talking about the practicality of whether or not a jetpack would have pockets for snacks.
And it does.
I say
I've
it
been
does
a part
not.
of this argument before.
You have, Nicholas. And you were wrong last time, so hopefully you'll get it right this time. Okay?
No,
So-
they definitely
I
have
don't remember what I
pockets.
said last time.
Yeah,
so.
you agreed with me, and that's why you were wrong.
Okay, but
okay.
like even if there were pockets, I would say putting snacks in those pockets completely inappropriate, because if they're
Not if it's a Pop-Tart.
baby, listen. The pack itself is meant to hold the jet propulsion mechanics and fuel for
And
the
snacks.
journey. No snacks. Okay, what
It's
would be the
supposed to hold snacks.
No, what would be the point of putting snacks back there? You wouldn't be able to reach them while mid-flight.
How do you know?
Well, wait a minute, Steph. I do have to ask. How do
Yes.
you know so much about jetpacks? I mean, you didn't go to school for jetpacks.
No,
or
I
anything.
didn't,
Have
but
you
I
just
lie
researched
awake
this
at-
randomly one day. Like,
No, this is the shit that keeps
It's
me up
hilarious.
at night, Nicholas.
She sent me a schematic of like
I
Jango
did.
Fett's backpack from
I
Star
did.
Wars, and I was like,
And you
know,
will
this is a
note-
fictional movie, right?
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The pockets on a jetpack, like we've talked about, like the Jimmy Neutron jetpack.
Okay, so let's talk about a real jetpack, and if you want to talk about jet propulsion, that could be any sort of jetpack. So the actual real life version of this that I found was an underwater jetpack and is meant to propel you while you were underwater. It does have pockets.
On the front.
It's got pockets.
On the
wait,
front.
but if you're underwater,
Got
you can't
pockets.
have snacks in there. They would just get
Thank you,
soggy.
Nicholas.
It's waterproof.
Oh, okay.
But you
Yeah.
still can't have your snacks until you're done, so I think the pockets are useless.
No. What you do is you jet propel to the island that you're going to or whatever, and then when you get up on the land, you've got Pop-Tarts and shit.
Okay, well, listen. I don't think that you should be eating Pop-Tarts anyway. They're dry and
And I think you should.
unpalatable.
And if it's not
Personally.
waterproof, then it won't be dry.
But who wants to eat a soggy Pop-Tart?
Evidently you, because you think they're dry.
No, I just would prefer not to eat Pop-Tarts in any capacity.
Okay, so we'll put it up on the Facebook page in
Yes.
the next
Should
poll.
jetpacks have
This is going to go
pockets,
up. We'll
right?
put it up. Can you put it up Thursday?
No, we weren't even talking about should they.
Can
our argument
jetpacks
our
have
argument
pockets?
has never been should they.
So do jetpacks have pockets?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
do jetpacks have pockets? And I say no. At least not pockets that you can put snacks in.
Yeah, they should have snacks pockets. And they do, actually. So,
Nicholas, how are we doing over there?
Yeah, how you feel with that,
cards?
Dennis?
I think I'm okay.
All right,
I think I'm
have you
good
put
to go.
yourself in the cards?
Yes.
Hey, the whole deal is just shuffle until it feels right for you.
It
Now,
felt right.
I do use the book that came with my tarot cards. Some may say that makes me a bad witch, and I say, hey, honey, if you've got the resources, you might as well use them.
You,
All right?
you do both. You use the book, but
Yes.
you also make your own interpretations.
I do. I
generally.
use a little bit of intuition, but I also had a lady say to me in the metaphysical literature aisle of Barnes & Noble, back when it had its own aisle, before our Barnes & Noble was reconfigured in its lovely configuration now, I did have a lady tell me, completely unsolicited, that one could spend a lifetime trying to study the imagery of tarot and trying to whittle down a specific meaning for a card, and you would never be content with that answer, and you would never you never reach the end of your learning when it comes to tarot.
Yeah, I think or at least what I've learned of having it read for me pretty often is that even if it's a similar card that I've pulled before, depending on the question that it has been asked or the relation of where my life is, it may not mean the same thing, is what I'm trying to say. And you've also picked up on it before too, not just knowing me, but just going, I don't think this is talking about what you think it's talking about.
Yeah.
You know, and that sort of thing. So
Yeah. And it's all vibes and intuitive.
Yeah, and some of the other cards kind of help to see, or at least it seems this way. Some of the other cards will kind of help give you some clarity as to what that first card really meant or whatever, you know.
It provides further context. So
Yeah.
It's all about those context clues.
Yeah.
So Nicholas, you did hand these back to me at my request, and I do apologize, but I am going to have to hand them back to you because I need you to cut the deck wherever feels appropriate for you, and that will tell me what card.
I'm a very 3/4 kind of guy.
Okay.
So, let's see. It seems about right.
Okay.
So now, do I hand them back to you like
Is
this?
it the card on top?
I don't know. I guess.
What card did you feel?
Yeah. Which?
Oh,
Where did you cut it?
right here.
Okay.
Okay.
So do you want the card on the bottom of the big deck or the card on the top of the small deck?
We'll go top of the small deck.
Okay.
Okay. Just set that on top.
Okay.
So flip that card over and hand it to me. Okay. Beautiful. So what you have pulled, Nicholas, is the King of Pentacles, which in this particular
Looks like a bunny.
well, yeah, which in this particular
It's
deck
a bunny.
looks like that. It is a very charming bunny rabbit, but yes, he is the King of Pentacles. So I don't know how much you know about tarot cards in general, Nicholas. Do you know anything about them?
No, not much.
Okay, so tarot cards, you have two sets of cards in every tarot deck. You have what is called the Major Arcana, and then you have the Minor Arcana. The Minor Arcana is split into 4 suits, very much like a normal deck of cards. You have cups, which is symbolic of the element of water. You have swords, which I believe is symbolic of the element of air. Staves or staffs, which is symbolic of the element of fire. And pentacles, which is symbolic of the element of earth.
Fire.
Yeah, so you've got that, and you've got kind of an ace all the way up through a 10. And then as far as face cards go, you have a page, a knight, a queen, and a king. And then in the Major Arcana, they say each card sort of is a step in the progression of a story. So it starts with card 0, which is the Fool, and it ends with a card called the World, which is usually a symbol of kind of the completion of something, full circle, things of that nature. So again, you have chosen here.
Pebbles likes you today.
Hold on, let me-
Like you too, Pebbles.
There we go. Okay, I had to pick up my book because it fell on the floor. So you've got the King of Pentacles here. So I am going to look at my book, and we're going
Consult
to read
the book.
Yes, we're going to consult the book.
I believe I've seen this card before.
Yes.
Because I remember the bunny.
Yes. All right. So the King of Coins in an upright position, which we're not going to deal with reversals or
King
anything.
of Coins.
Yes, coins, pentacles, it's all the same thing.
Okay, that's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
all the same thing. So the King of Coins, in the upright position, it reads as follows. The King of Coins suggests that you are an ambitious leader, adept at managing finances. Each new project comes with a carefully crafted multi-point plan, and you exercise great self-discipline. The King of Coins knows luck favors the prepared, and you come prepared for many possibilities. You can be trusted to handle resources on a large scale and may also be considered a reliable source of professional and financial advice. You find that people often seek your feedback and reassurance. So, this is where it comes into play that we're going to pull some more cards, because this doesn't really tell us much of anything as of right now, but the
Yeah,
context...
it sounds like it's just saying, this is
who
you,
are.
Nick.
Yeah. But that could be the case, and that could not be the case. But it depends on kind of the context of the other cards that we pull. So I'm going to Scooch.
I'm gonna drop
Gonna
the
play
card.
52
Yes,
card pickup.
I'm going to drop. Actually, I think it is 78.
78 card
card
pickup.
pickup.
8 card pickup. Yeah. Because you've got the major and minor arcanas both in the same deck. So now we're gonna wash, rinse, repeat. I'm gonna hand you these. You're gonna cut the deck again at wherever feels best for you. You may shuffle them again if you would like to. That is entirely up to you.
I'm not feeling the shuffle.
Okay.
All right.
And then you will decide which card it is that speaks to you, and you will hand me just that card.
Do I pull from the top of either one?
Whichever card speaks to you.
Okay.
Well, you just cut it right there. So, do you want the top card that she handed you, or do you want the one you cut from?
The one you do this one.
That's the one that from the top that she handed you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the one.
If
So
that's,
just flip
hey,
it to
if
the
that's
top.
the one, then that's the one, man.
All right.
All right. No, just the card that you pulled, honey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. And you pulled one of my favorite cards, the moon.
The moon.
I'm a fan.
So, yeah, me too. My girlfriend, the moon. I love her. Shout out to the full moon coming up this Thursday.
Yeah,
I'll be in
Very
I'll be
excited.
At Bank of America Stadium to see it too.
Nice.
We'll be up at Galax.
Yeah,
Yes,
we'll
we
all
will.
see it.
Yep.
I'll
I've
be
got
looking at the same moon.
that very same moon. My stars. All right, so the moon. So this card I do happen to know a little bit about, kind of off the top of my noggin here. The moon has to do with intuition and dreams. So we'll consult the book yet again, because I do like to consult the book. And we'll see kind of what kind of message is forming here. Now, Nicholas, when we went into this, did you have a specific question for the deck, or did you just want to see what it had to say?
What it had to say.
Okay, fair enough. That's how a lot of people do it for their first go round. All right, so the moon. Again, we're not doing any sort of reversals. We can do that at another time when we've got a flat surface. The moon is the card of dreams. Though you cannot know every bend in your path, continue to aspire and imagine. Precious little is illuminated by moonlight, and your fantasies can guide your impressions. This also means you may be led by your fears and anxieties. The moon is represented here by a faithful wife who once guarded a seed of immortality for her husband. When a wicked man attempted to steal it for himself, she swallowed the seed and ascended into the heavens. The moon is her home. Follow her guidance and trust your instincts. So, this in conjunction with the King of Pentacles. So if we are assuming here that you are the King of Pentacles, you are someone who is trusted with a lot of things, you're someone who is good at managing large projects, and what I know of you, Nicholas, I would say that that is fairly accurate. But this is saying that, it's leading me to believe that you may have a large project coming up that is kind of making you anxious, and you might be potentially a little stuck with how to continue with that. And I think it's encouraging you to trust your intuition.
Yeah.
Trust your intuition with that. And I think it's kind of pointing back to, looking inward for guidance and how to proceed with that, and trusting the fact that you are such a capable person, and trusting that you know what you're doing and you know how to proceed with this project, and you don't need to let your anxieties kind of push you in any sort of direction that you don't need to be in.
I would say that's actually pretty accurate.
Okay, so can we talk to her? Because I have not talked to her about this.
Yeah.
So this is something that you completely just read from the cards. There's no influence. There's no. I promise y'all, there's no influence here. I promise. Because we just had this conversation a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
I haven't
on a
had.
phone.
Yeah, and
She knows. I haven't had time to talk to her.
Well, and I haven't talked to Nicholas directly in quite some time, for more than like 2 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Usually on his way out the door.
So we'll let Nick kind of talk about it, or why that may make sense for
So
him.
you remember a few months ago we had Scotty Willard from Stillwater Junction on the podcast. And so today he actually contacted me about filming the band's first music video. So I mean, I've done like some promotional videos for bands, but this one is going to be like a norm kind of deal where it's like
full-blown music video.
Like there's a little, I don't know if there'd be much story in this, but like there's going to be performance, and it's going to be synced up to the
You're going to be there.
Studio recording of the song.
Yeah. So essentially, he's creating a music video.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just it. But
I've never really done that before, so I guess I could sort of have some anxiety about it. Just hoping
that's natural.
Just hoping it turns out the way they want it. And nothing goes wrong and stuff.
Well, I mean, we can pull another card and see what else they have to say.
Yeah,
well,
if you want.
It's actually a question. So how many do you pull?
As many until you've got your clarity that you need.
I typically do like a 3-card pull because that's just what feels comfy for me. And also, there are so many different configurations of a 3-card pull that you can do. You can do like past, present, future. You can do problem, solution, outcome. You can do there are so many different 3-card spreads is what they're called that you can do.
Yeah, it sounds like it's just kind of a in general what the cards are picking up right this very second. So if you want more on it,
well, I mean, we're on a roll,
more.
so let's just do one more.
And that's what I like about it is
just
that,
don't let it scare you.
Yeah, please don't let it scare you. And that's kind of the disclaimer that I like to put in front of most readings is, what you get from a reading is up to you, and it's up to you whether or not you want to put any stock in it and whether you believe in it. I personally, I am a pagan, and I do believe that, our energies attune with the cards, and we pull based off of those energies, and the cards give messages to us based on those energies. But it can be said that because it relies a lot on interpretation and symbolism that, there is a psychological component to it. There is some psychology behind it. And I absolutely believe that that's true. So, my advice to anyone who is reading tarot for the first time or having tarot read for them for the first time is it's all about you and what
you have the power,
what you take from it. So if you don't put any stock in it and you think that it's all complete and utter bullshit, then you know what? That's on you, baby, and don't have it read
and
for
it
you.
Probably will
if you
be.
Don't want to.
Is what we're trying to say.
And it probably will be.
If that's Nick's
what
got
you
a card.
got for me, honey?
All right, this will be my last one.
All
that's
right. So this is the 3 of Wands. So that looks like this here, and I might have my.
How did you hand that to her, Nick?
We're not reading reversals, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, we're just not reading reversals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Technically, he handed it to me in the upside down position, which if we were reading reversals, which is also something they don't really tell you with tarot, is that you can choose to read reversals or choose not to. Yeah. We're just not reading reversals at this time because if we had a flat surface, that would just be a lot easier.
Yeah.
So we're not doing that. Don't come at me for being a bad witch. I am a bad witch. I am not very good at it, and that's all right with me. All right, so you pulled the 3 of Wands, and I also may have been completely mistaken when it comes to what the suits correspond to as far as the elements. I never claimed to be an expert. I am not an expert. It's going to take me a long time before I ever become comfortable even trying to give myself that title in any capacity on anything. So I'm just a baby.
I'm just a baby.
Is this stuff you do on like your Twitch and stuff, Steph?
Well,
I want her to
insert Fairly Odd Parents Dinkelberg meme. This is what I would do on Twitch if I had one.
If I had one,
yeah,
you do have.
I do have one, but I don't use it often.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She needs to though.
There's just been a lot going on here.
Yeah,
lately.
with her trying to get the certification and all that good stuff.
I've been focusing,
life's been a lot.
A lot. Yeah, a lot. All right, so the 3 of Wands. You look out into the broader world and can bridge your abstract planning with material progress. You can clearly observe the opportunities and challenges ahead of you, and it emboldens you to continue. Your plans appear to be moving along as expected. So again, this is all really kind of encouraging.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, just keep doing it.
Whatever
That's
you're
what it's
doing.
saying.
That's fairly accurate. Yeah.
It's just
keep
on
on
keeping on, man.
Exactly.
Trucking.
Keep on keeping on, babe. So How do you
That
feel?
was a good reading.
I feel
Pretty
good. Yeah.
All
I
right,
mean,
good.
because I like here the last month or so, things have been a little slower for me. So like, I started feeling a little insecure at times about picking up, some more work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
things they'll pick back up once like October gets here and stuff.
Yeah, speaking of pointless plug, if you're listening to this and you need to learn guitar, me and Nick are both teachers. Contact either of us.
Wait, I'm like doing this in the
Yeah.
camera. You should like
Wheelie,
put
wheelie,
some,
wheelie, wheelie, wheelie.
yeah, you should put like a guitar effect, like
Wheelie, wheelie, wheelie. But we are teachers, so either of us can definitely get you on our schedule. Also, Nick, as he mentioned, he's jumping into a music video. He can do photos, videography, all grades of shit. Just shoot him a message.
the more business I get, the more equipment I can buy to make it look better. So.
Exactly. So if you support local, then you're gonna have all the quality around.
Which I don't know if that applies. Like, so I know like in music, it's not necessarily the high end. If you buy high end equipment, it doesn't necessarily make you better. I guess
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and
I don't know if
guess-
it's the same exact thing in the videography world. I haven't quite figured
Probably
that out
similar.
yet. But
It's probably
Camera
similar.
quality is important.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, well, and I don't think our ditzy little webcams make our podcast worse, but what it can do is it can just make things that much better.
yeah,
So if you support him, it can help him. It can help you. It also gives you that contact. If you ever need anything like that's what a lot of people don't remember. Like when we're networking, like that's what you're doing. If you're supporting somebody and then you come back to them later, I think we kind of talked on that with Ethan a little bit. As we noticed that every time we shot with Ethan, like his equipment got 10 times better. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it wasn't only us that caused that to happen, but I'm just saying that
You helped.
yeah. Our money went to, a good place that also is continuing to put out more and more stuff.
and that's the thing too. Like for me, accepting this music video job, I felt more comfortable accepting it because just simply doing 4 videos with Ethan as a band, we kind of learn, kind of how it works and stuff like that. So
You got experience in it. So it's definitely, since we have experience, we can pass it on for a little bit of monetary gain if you can help us pay our mortgage. Or Nick's rent, rather.
Yeah, please.
Hopefully a
help
mortgage
us.
soon.
Please help us pay our mortgage.
Yeah, please help. If you want us to keep the studio, help us. Nah, but
I kind of like living here.
yeah,
I'll say that.
Yeah, any kind of graphic design, hit me up. I can do that. Nick can do that.
Blakely's much better, but yes.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say that. I think I figured out, especially with graphic design and even with like seeing Dylan's stuff and stuff. Everybody's just got a different thing they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just what it is. It's depending on the direction you want to go with it. It's good to have a couple different people to go to for those sort of things.
I've
And
also
Steph,
been working on.
great artist.
On some digital art. Digital media is not necessarily something that I'm super duper comfy with.
But you're getting into it.
But I'm getting into
she's
it,
gotta walk
and
'em.
I'm learning. And when it comes to more traditional art mediums, paint, things like that, charcoal, I'm
A little more
pretty
comfortable.
familiar and pretty comfortable with those things. Shout out to Elise Schweitzer, care of Hollins University.
Shout
Thank you.
out.
Shout out.
But yeah, so and obviously you can support this podcast with our Patreon. You can support it by just engaging, listening. We appreciate it. So, but yeah. So just keep doing what you're doing, Nick. That's what it sounds like. Just keep doing what you're doing. Now, do you want me to get yelled at live on air? This deck
That's up to you.
is very hard on me.
It
Nick.
is.
Just saying.
This day.
The deck.
deck.
Yeah.
The deck
this,
of
this
cards.
particular
Oh, okay.
tarot deck
Yeah,
tends to. Okay, so the thing is, I do have multiple tarot decks, and each one has a little bit of a different tone or a little bit of a different vibe to it. So this one that we've been working with, I describe her as your no nonsense, sassy best friend. Like, she's gonna support you and she loves you, but she's gonna tell you how it fucking is. And she's not going to mince words. And I have found, because I did do a reading for a friend back at my last customer service job about her baby daddy. And right out of the gate, the card was just like, he ain't shit. Like, so she's gonna gas you up, and she's gonna tell you he ain't shit.
Yeah,
if he
it's
ain't
not.
shit.
It's not that the deck is like mad at me. It's just like it's very, very straightforward with me, which
she's
is a
blunt.
good thing, because that's how I know.
She's your
or
blunt
understand.
friend. She's your blunt
But
friend
at the
that's gonna
same
tell you how
time-
it is.
I think everybody should have one of those.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
like-
And the reason that I gravitate towards this deck is because with it being as blunt as it is, I get the most clarity and the clearest answers out of this
Exactly.
deck. Now,
And that's-
my other favorite is it's a deck that I got, and when it comes to picking out a tarot deck, I'm the firm believer that you choose a deck based off of what resonates with you and the imagery that resonates with you. So that's why I don't use kind of a traditional Rider-Waite tarot.
Here, let me touch the cards.
Yeah, touch here.
I gotta make sure
Hold
she knows I'm here.
Hold that. You know, I don't really use a traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck because that imagery doesn't speak to me. So my first tarot deck was Rider-Waite imagery. It was purchased at Ed McKay's when that was over off Stratford Road. Shout out to Ed McKay's, not a sponsor, but
It's
we love
McKay
you.
now.
Yeah, it's just McKay because they split.
Okay. I like that store.
Yeah, so
Love it.
I got that.
Love it.
It was just sitting up at the front counter. They had like 2 decks, and that was the one that I got.
Just kind of a starter deck.
Yeah. And it was a really good starter deck. It's still over there somewhere in its little velvet bag, but it will likely get cleansed and passed on to someone else. But my other favorite deck that I gravitate towards is inspired by the works of Alphonse Mucha, which is one of my favorite artists from the Art Nouveau period. Just absolutely gorgeous. And I bought it because that imagery resonated with me. But the tone of that deck, I consider that deck to be more like kind of a mother figure or a grandmother figure, where it's gonna be as gentle as possible with you and as
too
sweet
nice,
as
maybe.
possible. Yeah, she's a little too nice, and sometimes she will kind of skirt around a subject or dance around a subject and not really clarify things because she doesn't want to hurt your feelings. And this deck is not afraid to hurt your feelings just a little bit if you need it. If you need to come down a couple of pegs, she's gonna bring you down a couple of pegs, but then she's
done it to me a couple
she's gonna
times.
find a way to help lift you back up, because she does ultimately,
I've always
resonate
felt
with you.
supported.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes like with me, it's just been rough. Like it's just like boom,
Brutally honest.
like
Quit your
like
job.
straight out rough, and you're just like, whoa.
Why haven't you quit your job yet? Dumbass.
Oh, yeah.
It's stuff like that. That was actually pretty much what she was telling you.
Yeah,
that
there
whole
for a
time.
while, I think there was like a 3-month period that it didn't matter what I asked the deck. It didn't matter.
Quit your job.
She really knew I wasn't happy with my job. Not that I was unhappy with the job. I was just complacent and needed a change, and she knew it. Not that I followed the cards with my endeavor. It took me a long time to listen. Obviously I would
stubborn
not
one.
have, went as long without, but before leaving, let's see here.
Love it.
I think I've got kind of a question for it,
Okay.
but I'm not going to tell it to you.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm just going to let,
Hey,
I
your
think-
question doesn't mean anything to me. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I
I
think
mean, I
the-
do care
I think-
because you're my lovey,
I think
but
the deck will know.
yeah,
As
what-
accurate as it's definitely been.
that's what matters.
Pebbles.
And I also like to say when it comes to tarot that the future is never set in stone. So even if
You want me to cut?
even if the cards are saying, this is something that you need to be thinking about,
Do I need
There
to
is
hand you the deck, or do I
just
need
the
to...
card.
card.
There's a misconception, and you may need to
There's
hand me.
your book.
Yeah, there we go. You may need to realize that Hollywood's depiction of tarot readings is by and large inaccurate and unhelpful.
Well, it's satanic, right? Like that's what they pair it with.
Yes, that's what they pair it with, and we don't need to necessarily talk about the fact that Hollywood does not treat paganism the way that paganism needs to be treated, which is with a little fucking respect. You know, and it's not all Satan and all of this kind of stuff, but that's a discussion for another day, y'all. I'll tell you that. So, Honey
What
Love,
did I get?
Honey Love, the card that you have chosen is the Chariot. Quit your licking, babe.
I don't think I've ever
Go
gotten
lay
that
down,
card.
please. The Chariot. So it looks like this right here.
Like so, like that.
Like so, like that. In the words of Miss Tabitha Brown. Shout out to Miss Tabitha Brown. Love you, babe.
I've just heard Steph say that a million times.
I have. I find a colloquial saying. I find sayings that I like. I like words. That's what I'm being.
Words.
I like words. I like turns of phrase, and Miss Tabitha Brown has lovely turns of phrase. You know, I absolutely adore that. The Chariot. That's what we're looking at. Where are you?
Yeah, I don't know what this one
There
means,
we go.
man.
The Chariot. All right. The Chariot is a card of steady progression and clear goals. It represents healthy motivation, willpower, and practical application of wisdom. The Chariot represents certainty. There is a definitive sense of direction that propels the journey. Challenges are considered, addressed, and overcome. The black and white cats indicate duality, and they look in two different directions. The Chariot has no reins and is propelled by force of will.
I'd say it's pretty accurate.
So what do you feel?
What do I
What do you
feel?
feel that meant? Because I asked it a direct question.
Yeah, you
But
asked
I've been
it a
holding,
direct question.
I'm like holding the cards, and so, but I just want to get your read on it,
Yeah.
just to see how you interpret it.
Now again, it's
Yeah,
very
without any context to what I asked it, and that
Yeah.
way y'all can visually see I asked it a question without verbalizing it.
yeah.
And we'll
'Cause
see what she says.
I have no idea what he's talking about just yet. Now my feeling is that it's talking about kind of the goals that you have right now with what you're doing as far as your employment, we shall say. I know that, we have talked about kind of what those goals are, because of course we are living together, and it's
You kind of have to.
it's important to communicate those things in a relationship, and also I try to support my beloved in any way, shape, and form that I can. So I like to know what he wants so that I can cheer him on as he's going for his dreams. So I think that we're kind of talking about sort of what those goals are, and I know that we had spoken about you wanting to make, at least $600 a week. That is kind of ideal for us to be able to keep up the lifestyle that we have here.
That's
keep
the goal
this
that I set for
wonderful
myself.
house. Yes, this is the goal that he has set for himself. And so that's kind of the overarching goal that this is kind of bringing to mind, but I have a feeling that there are smaller goals, kind of milestones that you may have set for yourself along the way, some that have to do with your guitar teaching, some that have to do with the reselling venture that you've got going on, as well as, the graphic design that you do and all of those things. So I feel like I don't have quite enough information to give you a concrete answer.
Would we like
as far
another card?
Baby, that's all up to you.
You're still assuming my question too, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you until the end.
Right. And, you could choose not to tell me at all, and that's perfectly fine.
Let's keep going.
The reading is not about the person who's reading the cards unless the person is reading the cards for themselves.
Let's go.
So
again.
this ain't about me. This is about you here.
Yeah.
And is this
but-
something that you turn to? Like, if you're ever feeling weird, do you do it for yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
All the time.
Sometimes.
Not as often as I should, but
Yeah.
it's because I'm an anxious hoe, and sometimes I let the anxiety spiral me down a rabbit hole of discomfort and
Ooh.
pain and fear. What have you done? Oh, you have got, I can see it from here. You have pulled the Fool.
The Fool.
The Fool. All right.
Stewie's gonna make you the fool.
No, I think I know what that meant already.
Well, do you want to tell me what your first impression is?
Well, if I give
Without
you...
giving me the question?
I'd have to.
You'd have
I'd
to?
have to.
Okay, then we'll
let you read
circle
it.
back to that. We'll table
Just
that
remember what I said prior to
table
this.
that discussion for now. All right, so the Fool. The Fool is, as we discussed previously, the first card in the Major Arcana. The Fool indicates one who is ready to take the first steps in a new direction and explore previously untapped potential. There is a deep naivety about the Fool, representing someone who lives in the moment and looks ahead only to positive possibilities. The impetus to move forward is only done on a whim, plain and simple. The optimistic nature of this card is buoyed by a bit of good luck and a predilection for adventure. So, now that I've got a little more to work on, I think that we are talking about your goals, where it relates to what you're doing in your employment and how to get yourself to that $600 a week that you're wanting. And could even be talking about kind of the broader goals that we have maybe as, partners here as far as what we are looking for in our future. I think it's talking more about specifically kind of our economic challenges at this moment, because those are kind of at the forefront of both of our minds at this time, as I'm currently seeking employment, and you're working on being self-employed. So with the addition of the Fool here, I think that this is kind of encouraging you to have an optimistic outlook on it and to be adventuresome and to take those risks, because they will be worth it, and that an optimistic outlook is what you need looking forward. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very difficult to reach those goals. So I know that this talks about, the chariot being propelled by willpower, but I think that you need to take that willpower and add in a little bit of optimism, and that's going to make the willpower propel you farther, is kind of what I'm thinking. I'm trying not to hold these in front of my face.
There was one thing it said though in that second one, the Fool one. It said that
Yes.
you do things on a whim or something like that. I don't know if I would agree with that.
See, and I'm thinking that it's not necessarily.
I got a completely different
not
reading off of
necessarily-
it. By the way, I'll explain at the end.
Yeah, we'll get there. I don't think that it's necessarily saying that he does operate mostly on a whim, because anybody who knows Austin Blakely knows that he doesn't take a risk unless it's calculated risk.
Oh, yeah. I take risks.
Yes, but they are
calculated.
They are very calculated.
I take risks a lot, but
Yes.
I assess that risk
Yes.
for a while.
Yes. Hence why the cards had to beat you over the head with that.
This
quit your
deck has
job for
always
so
done
long.
this, and I'll explain at the end. I'll explain at
Yeah.
the end. It's always done
So
this.
I think that instead of it saying that this is what you are, I think it's saying that this is what you need, is that optimism and that willingness to take those risks and maybe calculate them slightly less.
Stop taking my time.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to give you one more,
Okay.
because I think you did a 3-card spread, didn't you?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Pull what feels right
here.
for you. What you got?
I got the moon too.
The moon. All right. So I'm not even going to read what's in the book.
Yeah.
It's talking about trusting your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Trusting that you know best.
Yeah.
Not in all situations, because nobody knows best in all situations, but that your gut is going to get you where you need to be.
So,
All right,
would y'all
now-
like actual context?
Sure. I love context.
Okay. So, I definitely was talking about my employment.
Here you go.
The question I asked it, because this is the question of the week right now, is, am I going to be able to make enough money to pay the bills? And that's a normal question that a lot of people would ask. So the first card, I think, was letting me know, like, hey, everything's good. As long as you got the willpower and the motivation, you got this. The second card was the deck going, you're a fool. Stop asking me questions.
She do be like
I
that
think
sometimes,
that's what it
though.
was. It was like, you don't need another card. Like, I told you what you needed to know. And then the last one was reassurance, because that was very similar to the Chariot. Yeah. So I think that's what it was saying, even though you pulled a little more out of that full card than I did. But as soon as I saw the full, I was like, okay, it's being a smart ass. Like, that's exactly, like, you don't need another card. Like, we ain't got to do this. But that's my experience, honestly, with that deck. It's stuff like that happens, where it's like, you don't even have to read into the card. It's telling me stuff from other things.
Yeah.
Which is very weird.
Yeah.
That deck talks to me in a weird way, which I'm cool with. I'm cool. It's direct and I love it. But when it happens, sometimes it hurts, man. Sometimes it's like, ooh, like that one over at Matt's, that was, ooh, okay. I've been checked. I'm going to read
what it said to you.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I got fucking checked. Yeah. But that, hey,
I mean,
that's the way it was,
sometimes.
and honestly,
And sometimes you need it, you know.
yeah, exactly. And when it put that in my head, I literally, that it made me think about it, and it made me work out some stuff, and I was good, and that's what I needed. So, but anyways, so thank you, Steph, for reading us.
Happy to help.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Oh, I always have fun.
Yeah, it's a thing. So it's not like you have to be extremely scared of it or anything. You don't have to hold any sort of, coin to it, if you will. You don't really have to believe it or believe in it. It's just an interesting thing that Steph likes to do that tends to give us some truth.
And
I'm not pagan, but I will humor just about anything.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, you don't necessarily, because there is the psychological component to tarot, you don't necessarily have to be pagan to work with tarot cards.
Yeah.
You can use it, and honestly, I know our friend Cody Ball has talked about, there's a gentleman on
Yes.
Is it TikTok or YouTube?
He's on YouTube. So
does
Cody talks
readings
about him all the time.
with,
But
like, Sesame Street flashcards.
he went to the dollar store and got Sesame Street flashcards.
Yeah.
And pulls for people and, like, legitimately, like, reads. I'm not saying it's legit. It may be for the lulz. I have no idea.
But it can be legit. That's the thing.
When he pulls the card, he reads into the card and, like,
divination is such a
interesting.
Squishy concept anyway.
I mean, it's kind of like how you interpret it, right?
Yeah,
he makes an interpretation of the Sesame Street flashcard, which is hilarious.
And that's the whole thing, is like, it means to you whatever it means to you. It's your interpretation. There's not really any right or wrong answers with tarot, and that's what I like about it.
It's the same thing with it's the same thing mostly, like, say for a lot of Norm's music, like, a lot of the lyrics I would write not specifically from a personal standpoint, but, like, just however you want to interpret it, feel free to do so as you might,
And there are, you can listen to some people's lyrics and tell that they're specific.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the Norm music, I think it's on very rare occasion that you can't pull something from it.
Yeah.
That you have addressed with it, something you've attached to the music, and that gives you that feeling. There's been a couple things that Nick's written about that's been very personal, but I wouldn't say any of them was specific enough for someone to pull that unless they asked. I don't think anybody would pull the same meaning.
The example that comes to mind, for me at least,
I guess you're a fan.
Yeah, I am a fan.
You would have interpretation on the songs.
So the song that immediately comes to mind is one that I believe I ended up asking. I either asked you about it or I asked you about it, one of the two. But it was No Mercy.
Okay.
Because I was like, where did this come from? Because
that one's a very broad one.
Anyone who knows Nicholas knows that he's not necessarily a very violent person.
I know.
So the whole line,
some of the
show no
music
mercy, I'd rather watch you bleed than die is a wee bit violent for our dear Nicholas.
I'll let Nick explain this one.
Yeah, talk to me about that.
Basically, that might have been one of the first original songs that Norm had. Because that was wrote before you were in the band.
Yeah, it was.
But I'm pretty sure I wrote the lyrics to it when Sandy Hook happened. And I was really pissed off that, like, I mean, because I had heard about school shootings, you know, from Columbine and like the Virginia Tech stuff and all that. But I don't know if I had heard it at, you know, we'd seen it at that magnitude where it was a bunch of like little just helpless kids were getting slaughtered in schools and stuff. And so that just kind of like really, you know, it pissed me off. I was like,
I think pissed us all off.
Oh,
yeah. I was like,
there's not getting upset by
what
that.
An absolute just piece of human shit, you know, like doing something like that. And I think that's where mostly the inspiration for those lyrics came from. So yeah, so it's not necessarily like me just being a brutal person. Like, it's not like I'm just wanting to see somebody suffer for no reason. You know, like there's a purpose behind it. Like, I don't think that like that guy, and is that guy still alive? Is he still?
Who knows?
I mean,
who
that
cares?
guy
Is he still in jail?
Probably could.
I felt like him, you know, if somebody like that getting, you know, just a jail cell and free food all day and stuff, and you know,
Paid by taxpayer money.
not having to like, you know,
No responsibilities.
yeah, not having to like have the same suffering done onto him that he did to the children and the families and stuff like that. You know, that just didn't sit right with me. So
yeah. There's very few occurrences where I'm like an eye for an eye, but like that one, kind of want him dead.
And unfortunately, it's still happening. But once again, it's not a topic we'll touch right now. But it is unfortunate that it is still a thing.
Well, it is, and it's something that, especially with me going into the education field, it's something that I think about a lot.
I'm sure, yeah.
I mean, even just substitute teaching for the short time that I did, I got attached to those kids. They were, you know, those are my youngins. You know, whether they want to be or not.
I think anyone who knows you would know that you would protect any of those kids with your life. I think,
I hope and pray and wish very deeply that I am never put in a situation like that. Because even thinking about it, like I'm trying not to cry because I cannot imagine that fear.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't wish that upon my.
No,
I wouldn't wish that upon my youngins. I wouldn't wish that upon the staff.
By youngins, she means like the students.
Anybody that's younger than me is. I call them youngins, and it's part of my southern charm. I will say, but it's not something that I wouldn't wish that fear on anybody, and the fact that I know. You guys maybe not. I don't know if this is something that y'all experienced, but I have very vivid memories of my first active shooter drill.
Yeah,
in middle school.
Steph went to Parkland.
This was when I went to Clemens Middle.
Okay, so you was at Clemens
I was in
middle
school.
She went to school in Winston, and I'm not saying that it's more prominent in Winston,
but it's a larger city than
there are more
where
people.
I currently live.
Yeah, it's a larger city. It's probably more likely that it would make it on the news. That seems to be the motivation for a lot of these people. But I think I remember a time, it was at West, when we had a active shooter loose.
Somebody
wasn't
was
a shooter.
There was somebody on the street, like the road beside the school.
Yeah, so we live out in the country. There was a lot of woods. You've seen Golf Road. There's woods everywhere.
Woods everywhere.
There was a guy turkey hunting. He was bow hunting. But he was in camo and had a bow, and he was too close to the school. Yeah. But they considered it, like, as soon as it was discovered, like, I guess one of the neighbors had saw him.
Was it a bow?
And
I feel like I remember them saying it was like a shotgun.
It was a bow. Okay. It was a bow.
Either way.
He might have had a pistol on him, like, as far as, like, because I know some people will,
about hunting, y'all.
if they think they haven't killed the bird, they will use a pistol on it.
Yeah.
But I think most really good turkey hunters will just unfortunately break its neck, as horrible as that sounds. I mean, they've already shot it. So if it didn't die, they're just literally, that's what they're doing. They'll use a knife or they'll break its neck.
It's from what I've heard, and the reason that a lot of people use that to slaughter their chickens is because it is instantaneous and
quick.
we don't need to get into the whole do animals feel pain and all of that kind of stuff.
I don't know if a turkey does, honestly. Those things are absolute
aviary brains.
They're just
avian brains. I don't know anything
dumb,
about that.
Unfortunately. But I want to come back to movies for sure.
Yeah.
But I want to go ahead and do this. So again, we had it lined up for mail time with Nick, and nothing.
Nobody said anything.
Nobody.
It's okay though.
Why do you think so, Nick?
Maybe I'm not that appealing of a person to ask questions to.
I think you are. I think nobody knows.
I think nobody knew what to ask you.
Yeah, I think that, okay. So this is the way Mail Time with Nick works. Okay. So, and I'm
MAIL, not like
MALE.
MALE.
Yeah, this is no
Mail
just-
time.
I mean,
we could do that too. We could,
Mail Time.
I'm all
We
for
don't-
experimenting.
No, this is what it look. This is
Nicholas,
what it'll
please.
look like.
Shay Pebbles wants to do mail time with Nick. Ain't that right, Pebbles? Yeah.
Pebbles
This
just
is
wants to be
exactly
involved.
what it's going to look like. Okay.
She's just
So
happy to be here.
watch this.
Wow.
Did it go? What
Check
the
your
hell?
email.
You sent me a
Check
message.
your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, check your phone, Nick. You've got
Okay.
mail.
Oh, okay, I got it. He asked me what my favorite color is.
Okay. So what's your favorite color, Nick?
It depends. It's either when I was a kid it was orange. But as I've gotten older,
Really? Orange?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's either like black or blue now.
Black or blue.
Yeah.
What's your favorite color, huh?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, what a loaded question.
I mean, I know it, but
I'm rather fond of the color green.
I had the feeling.
I'm rather fond of the
I don't think
color
I've ever
green.
asked you that question. I think I just knew.
Yeah. I mean, there's something about it, like it, of course it reminds me of nature, it reminds me of plants, it reminds me of money, which honestly, I can take it or leave it. I want enough money to be comfortable, but I don't need to have scads.
She wants
and
her
scads
house.
Yes, I want my house, and damn it, I want to have nice things to put in it, and tarot decks to read, and other various witchy accoutrements to have fun with and get up to witchy business.
My favorite color is yellow. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, my favorite color has always been yellow. It's my mom used to plant marigolds, and those were my favorite flower, so I associated my favorite color with my favorite flower that my mom.
I know it's definitely not red.
Yeah. Okay, I've come to like red a little bit more in my age. So what he's talking about is I had a moment in time where I was running across red guitars. And I don't know why I kept finding red guitars. But like I'd find good deals on red guitars, or I'd inherit one, or something would happen and it's a red guitar. And Needham's damn calling me.
Patch him in.
Patch him in.
Put him through.
He sent a picture of his bass.
How's it going?
Yo, how you been?
I've been good. You're on the podcast.
Oh shit, you on the podcast right now?
Yes, Needham, that's what we're
You're
doing
on the
right now.
podcast.
You're on the podcast,
Say
sir.
hello.
This world and all that behooves it. I don't know.
Yeah, behooves.
Behooves.
Yeah.
So this is sort of since we've got a caller in, which I don't know if the mic's picking you up, but we had no mail time with Nick. So would you like to ask Nick a question?
Nicholas,
Yes.
when did you grow your first pubic hair?
Oh,
Christ.
Gosh.
I don't want to show his phone number.
I would have to. I don't know exactly. It was probably somewhere in like the 14-year-old range, I guess. I don't
He was
know.
14 when he got his
We'll
first
just say
pubes.
we'll just say 14.
And how long roughly did it get?
I think it wasn't the only sprouter, so
He had multiples at that time.
yeah.
There was too much data.
Yeah, but I would just go on a limb and say I don't know, a half inch.
Half inch.
Half inch. That's pretty good.
Half inch is about,
That's not bad.
That's not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad for your first pube.
No.
I guess.
So can I call you back in just a moment?
Yes.
Okay. I love
Bye,
you, man.
Needham. We love you.
Deuces, brother.
There we go. There was our first mail time with Nick.
The first mail time with
Wow.
Nick.
Yeah.
How convenient for Nick.
Amazing.
I don't think,
See,
I
those
don't
are the
think you
questions.
realized.
Those are the questions I like, though.
See, that's how it works. That's how it works.
I mean, you
people.
can ask me my favorite color, but I mean, that's such a
Kindergarten.
yeah.
It's a kindergarten.
It's elementary, my dear Watson.
I was just
Which
giving you
also-
an example.
Shout out to kindergartners and all of those little itty bitties that are starting kindergarten. Way to go! Be
Yeah,
excited.
way to go, way
You're
to
gonna make
go.
so many new friends. When
But
you
yeah,
go to
that's how
school.
it works. So mail time with Nick, I'm going to put it right here. No, I'm going to put it right over here because that's better. But anyways, so get disarranged@gmail.com. That's all you got to do. And send you a message. Have fun with it. He's going to have fun with it. And then it comes from you on, the people that listen to
Are
this
any
podcast.
questions off limits?
No,
as long as they're not dick pics. I think that's the only thing that we've established. No dick pics.
Oh, I mean, if you do, it's just it's not really a question. That's just. I mean, you can make it a question.
I
You
would
could be
call
like,
that a solicitation.
Make it a question.
you could be like, so does this look nice to you? Or then I won't show it to the camera, but I'll be like, I mean, that's a nice dick, I guess.
I guess.
You're
So
not gonna rate them on
evidently
a scale
that's
of 1
okay
to 10?
too.
I might.
Okay.
But I also want to run into the trending on trending on Twitter. I can't.
Trending on Twitter.
Trending on Twitter. Trending on Twitter.
Stop.
So these are just some interesting ones that I saw this morning, and I'll just leave them up to y'all to have fun with. So number one was it is International Cat Day. So celebration of your kitties and
Bubbles
your
is
cats.
having a day right now.
Bubbles?
Who the hell
Who's
is Bubbles?
From Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, that Bubbles.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Whew. I thought we had a cat.
Well, because Nicholas
Oh,
was
no.
considering
Yeah, he was
getting
considering
a cat
getting a
at
cat.
one time, which
Yeah.
I was all for, and then he
Kitty,
backed
name her
out of it.
Bubbles.
Yeah.
Kitty, kitty.
I can't wait to tell Bubba.
Yeah. So happy cat. What is
Happy
it?
International
Cat Day.
to Banjo and Minerva,
Banjo and
my
Minerva.
babies, my angels,
But
my
you know
little
what?
hell demons.
Now that kind of gave me an idea. If I did get a cat, I might actually name it Bubbles.
Name it
Just,
Bubbles.
just in dedication to one of my favorite TV show characters.
Yeah.
So,
If you've never seen Trailer Park Boys, you need to.
oh my god, it's
Highly
so,
recommended.
so good.
It's so good. So number two was the VMAs, which is a thing still.
That happened.
It's a thing. I mean, we're sitting here talking about shooting music videos and stuff, but like, there's really not music on MTV anymore. And if I don't even know if MTV's still alive. Is it still alive?
I don't think so.
We don't watch cable.
Well, wait. I mean, it's
So
still
I don't
it's
know.
still a channel.
Yeah. Who
Like,
watches MTV and what's on it?
I don't know.
Anyways,
That would
I'd
be
love to
something
find
great
out.
for you guys to tell us. What's on MTV? What are you watching on MTV?
What are you
right
watching
now?
that's on MTV?
You know what's funny is because now Beavis and Butthead are starting to come out with new episodes, and 10 years ago they had came out with new episodes, right?
Yeah.
So in the old days of Beavis and Butthead, they panned to them watching music videos,
Yeah.
in between the episodes,
which is awesome.
But then 10 years ago when they had a new season in 2011, they were watching. They stopped watching music videos. They would watch Teen Mom and stuff like that.
God.
But now in the new episodes that just came out, they're watching actually I think they've went back to some music videos.
That's good.
But they also watch like TikTok videos and
Okay.
stuff like that.
That sort of
So,
makes sense. Though.
Yeah.
That sort of makes sense. Not that I love TikTok. But anyways, the VMAs, evidently Nicki Minaj is receiving a Video Vanguard Award, which I did not have enough time to Google. So whatever that is, that's what's trending.
Congratulations, Nikki.
It's what trending on Twitter.
Yeah, congratulations.
And
Miss Minaj, I don't
Miss
know how
Min-
you would like to be addressed, but whoever,
Nikki!
however you want to be addressed, darling, congratulations.
and then the last one I'm going to give you was number 6. So I didn't keep going down the row, but it was just because I thought this was funny. Kanye West actually broke his silence on his ex and Pete Davidson's, I guess, relationship. So before he wouldn't talk about it. I know everybody was trying to get him to talk about it. He didn't want to talk about it, but he's finally broke his silence. And this is a quote. I don't know exactly what the whole phrase was, but he used the name Skeet Davison. So here's to you, Kanye, for coming up with Skeet Davison.
I saw a meme the other day. It was ladies or gentlemen, you better hide your girlfriends now because Pete Davidson is single again.
Is he single now? Okay,
I think so. Didn't they break up or something?
maybe they did.
I don't know.
if
I
they've-
don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care, but I saw like
I just
a
thought
headline.
it was funny, the whole
Yeah.
Skeet Davison thing. That it just made me giggle. That's
I
all it
just-
was.
Listen, celebrity culture.
Hey, it's what
I
was
don't like it.
It was what was trending on Twitter. Are you mad at me for doing that?
No, I just like.
It's on accident.
I
I
just
promise.
don't
Like,
care.
I keep messing up trending on Twitter because it's just hard to say.
Oh no,
and it
that's
comes out
fine.
trending on Twitter.
No, that's
Oh.
fine. That's
But,
fine. That I don't care about. I'm just like I'm
So-
not on Twitter. I don't want to be on Twitter.
We are. If you want to go follow our page, we are very absent from it, though. You will have more fun on the Facebook group.
Yeah.
I can be more active on Twitter. Y'all just have to make me do it. So if there's a lot of you there, that's where I'm going to go. But y'all are all on Facebook for the most part, so we'll hang out there. Let's see. Anyways, yeah, we were going to talk a little bit of movies.
Yeah.
And I thought, too, because
Movies.
me and Steph, going along with the cards, me and Steph have kind of, done some Zodiac reading, too. So I felt like you could probably
Yeah,
talk
we
about
did.
that.
We did
But-
your birth chart.
But I think movies is something we all know
Yeah.
very, very well. So we've talked about what we've been watching.
What have you been watching,
What have you been
Nicholas?
watching, Nick?
Well, I said that I feel like I said this on the podcast a little bit ago. It wasn't off air, but I did watch. So this weekend was a good weekend for movies.
Oh, yeah,
'cause-
yeah.
You did say you'd
s-
watch The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
I
said
watched
you'd
the
watch
Breakfast Club. So my parents went out of town this past weekend, and normally their dog.
Shout out to Karen and Jay.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Normally their dog Finley.
Finn Man.
goes-
Shout out Finn
Little Thin
Man.
Man.
Normally he goes to my grandparents' house, but the last time they went to the beach and he stayed over there, he started to get a little homesick. He
Aw,
stopped
poor
eating and
guy.
stuff like that.
Poor
So they
guy.
felt like it would be better for him to stay at their house and have me and Brianna go over there and stay with him. So we did that this past weekend, and so I don't remember. Yeah, Friday. Yeah, we watched quite a bit of movies actually. Friday night. It was mostly movies I had seen. We watched the new Beavis and Butthead episodes. We've already seen the movie, and it was hilarious. The episodes were funny too.
I love Beavis and Butthead. I need to watch all that stuff now because
Yeah.
now that they're actually putting it out, like that's prime time to go back and watch all that good shit.
Yeah, and then we watched a classic. We watched White Chicks.
White Chicks.
freaking
Hell yeah.
freaking classic comedy. And then the next day we watched. Even before all that, I watched. So at Dad's house, he still has all these. Back in like 2007, Kiss came out with these things called Kissology. It was like a DVD box set. We have all three of them. And one of them's got their movie that they made in the 70s called Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park.
Yeah.
Real cheesy, like Star Wars. They were trying to mix like Star Wars into, like Beatles movies
Exactly.
and stuff like that. So they were trying to be superheroes in the movie. It was really cheesy. But I ended up watching that just because I hadn't watched it in so long.
Yeah.
You know?
Speaking of, I did pick up. So I do some reselling. So with that being said, occasionally I come across a nice DVD disc, and I found Detroit Rock City, and I was like, I just don't own it, so I'll just buy it.
Saturday morning, we watched that.
We watched Detroit
Rock City. Yeah, because
So I haven't seen it in a while, but also too,
dude,
like
it's so
I just,
funny.
it was like, I don't know, it was what, 50 cents, and I was just like, it's a good disc. It looks like it's never been played, so I was like, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Like,
Funny, great movie. If you're a
Yeah.
if you're a Kiss fan, or if you're just into comedy, it's really awesome.
yeah.
Then of course we watched The Breakfast Club. No. Before that, we watched Summer Rental. You ever seen that movie with John Candy? Came out in the
No.
80s. It's
Summer
basically
Rental.
him and his family. He gets like 5 weeks paid leave from his job in the summer, and so they
God,
go.
wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I say as a teacher.
they go to yeah. So they go on
Ignore
vacation, and then a bunch of stuff starts like kind of going wrong and everything.
Yeah.
And he ends up having to become a sailor to like kind of make it. You have to watch the movie, but
Okay. I'll go check it out.
then we watched The Breakfast Club, and then yesterday we watched The Chamber of Secrets.
Chamber of Secrets.
It's always been
It's
my
always
favorite.
a good one.
Yeah. So.
I think if I had to say that there's like a favorite Harry Potter movie, I would have to say it's The Sorcerer's Stone because of like the time it came out. I got to see it in theaters.
Oh,
I have nostalgia with it.
I saw
but I like
it.
all the movies.
I saw it in the theaters, The Sorcerer's Stone, when it came out. But if I'm being completely honest, I didn't even really, know why there was so much hype behind it. I don't think I fully realized that they were books.
I didn't either. My mom had read all the books, and I never even attempted.
Yeah,
I can tell that I'm the big reader in the room.
Yeah,
At the moment.
I never intended.
Well, we were like 5 years old or 6 or something
I
like
was,
that. So.
I would have been what?
Let me see.
Yeah, I was
Because
like
it came
6 or
out like the
7.
first one came out in like 2000. So Steph would have been you would have been
I was like 5.
Yeah, I would have been 8
I
then.
think. Hold on.
I guess around. I probably just turned because it was on my birthday.
yeah.
That's how I know. But it was my mom had just started establishing like my birthday's happening at not like at the movie theater, but I got to go to the movies for my birthday, which was cool.
So the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone came out in 2001. So I would have been 6 or turning 6. I feel like it came out.
I would have been 9.
November 14th. So yeah, I was already 6 years old, about to turn 7. I don't believe I read the books before I saw the movie, but I definitely requested the books immediately after. Immediately
My mom had
after
already
seeing
read
the
them.
movie.
Yeah, she had read most of them and was waiting on books to come out. But
we all.
I didn't
been
really
there.
choose the movie. It was just one of those things that's what was showing
Yeah,
at the time.
I think I went with like one of my friends actually. They were going to see it, and I was like, okay, well, I'll go see this movie. And then I obviously ended up really enjoying it.
Yeah, and I used to watch it with my my grandmother too, which is so my grandmother's not actually my grandmother. I just called her grandma, but she had it on tape and we'd watch it together.
Yeah.
So
And I still
stuff with that movie for some odd reason. That in particular Harry Potter movie. Just it
and
felt a certain
I'm terrible
way.
because I still have not really watched them past the Goblet of Fire.
I'll fix that.
Really?
I want to. I mean, they're on HBO Max.
I'll
I
be
just need to
honest with
find the
you.
time
I will fix
to
that.
sit down and watch them.
Until you get to the end of it, I wouldn't say they're like the greatest thing ever. I would say the very last one, the very last installment is worth it.
I have seen
closing?
like the
So-
very last part of the last movie.
You've
I've
seen the spoiler.
Personally,
I know what happens.
Snape kills Dumbledore.
shut up.
Spoiler alert.
That spoiler's been all over the internet for years. Like, we know. Okay?
That's my spoiler of choice. If anyone's just like spoiler alert, then I immediately want to say Snape kills Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Like
And see,
instantaneously.
I go a little more old school, and I say the one-armed man did it. But that's just
What?
yeah. Please tell me you've seen The Fugitive.
Yes.
Speaking
Okay,
of
thank
Snape, R.I.P. to Alan Rickman, who passed away
Been a
few
while.
years ago.
Yeah, been a while.
And he is a great actor.
Okay, so
Great
my
actor.
favorite role that he has ever played was when he was Marvin the Paranoid Android in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So-
She showed me that, and there was another movie he was in that you showed me. I think it was him, and he was a pirate. I
Pirate?
can't remember the name of the
No,
movie.
no. You're thinking
was
of
that?
Robert De Niro in
Oh
Stardust.
yeah, I'm thinking of Robert De Niro.
Yeah, Robert De Niro plays Captain Shakespeare in Stardust.
If you ever want
which
to
is
see Robert De
also-
Niro cross dress, that was interesting.
Love you, Mr. De Niro. Thank you so much for that beautiful film.
Yeah, speaking of Robert
you
De
so
Niro,
much.
we've been watching the Godfather series.
Yes,
as
also-
we talked about.
Also quite
Go
fabulous.
watch it if you haven't.
Mr. De Niro, quite fabulous.
What's your favorite movie of all time, Nick? Favorite movie?
I thought we already covered that. I thought it was Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, it's not my favorite movie, but it's
Really?
one of my favorites.
Okay.
I
It's
I would
great
put it
movie.
in my top 10
Yeah,
probably.
rock my world
I'm
here,
right
Nicholas.
with you, man.
What is your favorite
Well,
movie?
I guess I got to say, well, I'm a huge Tarantino fan, but I guess I got to say
Pebbles.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
That's actually one that I have never seen all the way through.
Yeah.
But it's
That's
on
a
my
long
bucket.
ass movie.
It's on my bucket list.
I would say, and I would say,
I
that-
haven't seen it all the way through.
I would say
but-
that purely because I have a Pulp Fiction poster like on my wall at my apartment. So
Just see
is
it
it the
every
one
morning.
with Uma Thurman on it?
yeah, it's her and John Travolta. Well, no, it's like it's her, but it's the scene where they're dancing.
I
Oh,
see.
okay.
Yeah. Shout
and
out to Uma Thurman. Love
Yeah.
you, babe.
the only Tarantino.
Shout out to Uma.
Yeah, Uma Thurman, like, you may never see this, and honestly, that's perfectly fine, but Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy in Batman and Robin, one of like the top 3 reasons that
It
I
did
am
it for you and a
bisexual.
lot of people.
Well, I love Tarantino, and I've obviously I mean, she was great in Kill Bill too.
Yeah.
But like the only one
And
of
the
his movies I
producers?
have not seen is Death Proof. And what's funny is
never
that
seen
I
that
borrowed it from my dad he has it on DVD, and I borrowed it from him back in like January. And it's still
still
sitting,
haven't watched
still
it?
sitting under my TV, like waiting to be popped in and
Waiting
watched.
to be watched.
But every other movie of his I've seen, and like Django is obviously great. His first movie Reservoir Dogs is really good.
Reservoir
I need to go back and
Dogs
watch that
is
one.
still up there for me.
And I even thoroughly. I mean, of course, I love Inglourious Bastards, and I even like the
That's
Hateful
what
Eight.
I've seen.
The Hateful Eight is great. And even his latest movie, I thought was good. If you can get over the fact that it's not an overly violent movie like his movies usually are.
Yeah.
One talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay, I
It's not really violent up until the spoiler alert up until the very end. But before that, it's just kind of a more of a slow paced movie, but it's still very good.
Still worth it.
I would say, I would say Pulp Fiction though. I mean,
Okay.
there are movies that I really
This
love. Though.
conversation has made me realize that I have not seen very many of Quentin Tarantino's films, and
I haven't either.
I think I'm okay with that.
I've seen a lot of them, but I haven't seen.
Like, would I like to see
many,
more?
many.
Sure. But I'm not like, oh my
Haven't seen
god,
all of them.
heartbroken that I haven't seen all of the Tarantino
I think
films.
he
No
just-
disrespect to Mr. Tarantino.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're not into a bunch of violence, then you might not enjoy his movies. But there's something the way he directs and what he gets out of the actors in the movies. Because a lot of the actors he has are like they have shitty roles in shitty movies and other areas and stuff. But for whatever reason, when they get
hit
together
his
with
set.
Tarantino, he brings out just the greatest things about these actors and actresses in their movies, because I mean, like, Samuel L. Jackson's been in, some roles that weren't very good,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
like, honestly, I mean,
We do love you though, Samuel L.
Oh,
Jackson.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Me
yeah.
specifically.
I
love
mean,
you.
like, I've always felt,
Sometimes he's been shafted too. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily his fault.
I gotta say, I don't even know if I love, like, Mace Windu, like his character in Star Wars. It's good, but
I like Mace Windu. I wish there was more Samuel L. Jackson in.
motherfucker.
Not
we all
necessarily
wish
that.
there was a little more.
When he's about
Samuel
to
L.
kill the
in Mace
emperor,
Windu.
like it's over for you, motherfucker.
He's
And
just
that would
a
have been
little.
a great place to put
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I don't think that necessarily should have been the case. I'm just saying that, like, I feel like he was very tamed as Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Like he had
Yeah.
to be. He had to be very into the Force,
Yeah.
if that sort of makes sense.
Right.
Like he was like almost stern and emotionless, and it's just like maybe this is just me, but Samuel L. Jackson's just not an emotionless man. Like now he sort of does that in like the Avengers when he's
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury. But at the same time, he's still kind of comedic or quirky about it.
Yeah.
And he's very mysterious, so it kind of works there. It
Yeah.
kind of works there because he can still kind of be a smart ass. He can still kind of be funny, but in there was no doing it in that the nature of the character he was portraying.
Do
You know?
y'all remember him in Jurassic Park?
Yes.
No, I don't.
He
remember.
was
do.
he was one of the computer engineers.
Oh, okay.
He was.
No, I don't. Well, maybe I just didn't pay attention.
And spoiler,
He
he gets
wasn't-
his arm like ripped off by
Yeah.
a velociraptor.
He wasn't like a major role in that movie.
Yeah, he's one of the
That
more
was Samuel L.
side characters.
Jackson?
Yes,
Yep.
like blink and you miss him, babe. It's
What the fuck?
Yeah, he had
need to
hair in that movie.
I need to go check it out because I never noticed.
And-
I remember a black fella died, but I don't.
That was
that
Samuel
was
Jackson,
Samuel
yeah.
L.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Okay.
And if y'all were talking about gangster movies earlier, I didn't realize this. Like I was watching Goodfellas for the first time not too long ago, and he's in Goodfellas for like once again
yes.
a blink and you miss him moment.
He is in Goodfellas.
Yeah.
I do know that. I
Yeah.
do know
eh.
that. He doesn't even get a line, does he?
It's very little,
Very
but he
little?
does talk.
I didn't
like,
even think he
little
got
bit.
a line.
Yeah,
Cool. Samuel L. Jackson just be in all my movies. Like just
Yeah.
all the best movies.
yeah.
What's your favorite movie, hon?
Wait, can I guess?
yeah.
All right. But let me see if I miss it. Let me get like 2 more guesses.
Okay, yeah. Best out of 3. Go
All
for
right.
it.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
No.
No,
That was a good guess, though.
That is a really good guess. I do love Rocky Horror. Shout out to all of my friends at Hollins University.
Is it a musical?
In our APO.
Shout out.
Is it a musical? Hold on, and give me a hot second to think about what my favorite movie is.
She's never been hit with this.
No, well, I have, and it just gets harder every time because I keep watching more and more movies that I love. Okay, so it is a 3-way tie, and one of them is a musical. Yes.
I think I know one of them.
Shit.
I might know the musical.
Maybe.
I think I had one like it was on the tip of my tongue. It's not Hairspray. That's not one of them.
No.
Okay.
No.
Hairspray's all right.
Yeah, Hairspray's all right, but it's just not my favorite.
What was that one that you brought to when I lived at the old house? You brought it over for us to watch one night, and I unfortunately fell asleep. But it was not because the movie was bad. I was really tired.
That's the one.
It was late.
Was it this one? Is this
That's
one?
the one,
Oh my
yeah.
god, I don't remember the name though.
Do you remember literally anything about it?
No.
No?
I can't remember the name of the movie either, but
I literally watched it like 2 days ago.
I just can't remember the name of the movie.
Yeah. What is it?
All right. So the 3-way tie as far as my favorite movies, it is Practical Magic.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that was a favorite. I didn't know that was number one.
The other one is Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
it was
I was thinking maybe of saying that one, but
And
And then the last one, what do you think?
starts with a B.
No, it's My Boyfriend's Back. Shout out to Lisa.
That's what I was trying to say. It
Yeah.
starts with a B.
It doesn't. It starts with an M.
As a my.
Yeah.
I forgot
My
about
Boyfriend's
my.
Back. Which, by the way,
I just thought it was
has
called Boyfriend's Back.
Yeah, so My Boyfriend's Back is a highly underrated film. It is a little absurd. The plot
Goofy.
doesn't necessarily make sense, but that's why I fucking love it. It currently has a 14% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and you know what?
Go watch it.
I don't care. Go watch it. It is My
Highly
Boyfriend's Back.
rated by the Disarrangement podcast.
Yes, it is not
It's a decent
currently available on any streaming service. However, you can probably get it on Amazon, I would say for like $10.
Yeah,
If
or if not, then just like look
Bootleg
for
it.
Yeah, look for it. Or
Not that
eBay.
we condone anything illegal, but find a way to watch this
You
movie.
can.
I
It's
swear.
a good movie.
And the only thing I have to say on that subject again is a shout out to Lisa Moxley Cruz for showing me that movie because it's also her favorite movie, and that's actually my plan for my next tattoo is that Lisa and I are gonna get matching tattoos
For my
for
boyfriend's
my
back.
boyfriend's back. Yes.
I
Boyfriend's back.
when it comes to movies,
Wait.
it's
All right, I
hard
gotta
for
guess
me to
yours,
say
too.
my favorite, but I think she knows it, so I don't think it's fair for her. Like,
Yeah, let me
I do
guess.
have a default that I go to, but it's like
I should have let y'all guess for mine.
it has to do with
I did guess
time.
and I
Oh,
was
that's right.
wrong.
Yeah.
I like a lot of movies, so like when I say this is my favorite, this is like my go-to. So that's what I mean by it. It's
don't
not
know.
I'm
necessarily.
studying. I'm
I don't know
studying
that I
your.
know this, my love.
I'm trying to
don't
pick
know
up
it?
your
Okay.
facial
I feel like you'll
vibes
tell me.
here.
Like
Maybe.
you'll say it, and I'll be like, "Oh,
You might not know
yeah.
it, Nick. I don't know.
I don't
if
think
you
I
would.
do, but I'm still
What
gonna guess
genre?
Do I? If I give you the genre, then I give you everything. I give you the power.
No, that's
You don't give-
not
you don't- well, you don't give
true.
me
I'll just give
everything.
y'all both three choices.
Oh,
And let's do Nick first.
Yeah, you go first, Nicholas.
Okay.
I feel
Well,
like you're
I
more
wouldn't
likely
think
to
it's
get
"Oh
it.
Brother, Where Art Thou" because
No, but that I'm with you. That is a top 10 movie,
Yeah.
no matter what. Changed my childhood. Changed my ass back on George Clooney too.
you know it'd be better if this was like we were in the 1930s and not a lot of movies that came out yet.
It would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
This one's a hard one, man. It's a hard one. I'm not gonna say it's easy.
So it's not Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, it's not Guardians. He's got the right idea, I think. He's like looking at my shit.
Is it the Pokemon movie?
No.
No.
Okay.
I did get to see that.
Pokemon 2000? Is that what it's called?
No, that was the one after.
Oh, okay.
So there was Pokemon the movie, and then there was Pokemon 2000.
Okay.
Wait a second. Is it Lilo and Stitch?
Nope, but that's in the top 10.
Damn.
Okay,
Well,
so
I
y'all
was
both have
looking at Stitch up there,
you
but
gave
I didn't
two.
think that
you
was
still
your
got
favorite.
one, and you still got two.
Oh no,
No,
I
I-
know what it is.
Don't give it yet. Let him.
Okay. I was looking at the wrong stuff in the
Lilo
room.
and Stitch is actually the original Lilo and Stitch. I don't know the new ones.
So
very
is it in the
well.
ballpark of Lilo and Stitch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well,
I'm
that still
excited
doesn't
now.
really help me a lot.
I said it was a hard one.
Oh, can I give him a clue?
Yes. Wait. Sorry, I answered for Blakely.
Yes.
'Cause it's always once upon a time in New York City.
She just sang you the song.
I did.
Like literally that. If you knew the movie, then that would have popped right into your head.
Yeah.
New York City.
Like I said, it's
Cute.
it's
So
a
it's
hard
something
one.
to do with New York City.
5 minutes in, cue the tears.
Yep. Cue the tears.
Yeah, every time.
So it's animated.
Yes,
an animated movie.
it is.
It is a Disney movie.
It's a classic. It's
Um,
Pebbles' favorite movie too. She
It
loves
is
to
Pebbles'
watch.
favorite movie.
Yeah.
She watches it very,
Mm,
very good. She likes that in football.
Oh yeah, she loves.
There was another movie that she liked the other day that we were watching. What was? Oh, it was Joe Dirt.
Oh yeah,
was
she
watching
loved Joe Dirt.
Yeah, she watched Joe Dirt.
But I mean, Joe
like
Dirt's
when
also
Pebbles actually
classic.
pays attention to the TV, I start to take mental notes of what she's watching. So football, this
Isn't-
movie, and Joe Dirt.
Isn't part of the 101 Dalmatians movie animated? Or
There
is
is
it-
an animated
There's
101
the animated is the
Dalmatians.
original, and then there's a live,
But
but
it's not that one.
it's not that one.
Okay.
But
You're on
that's
the right
in
track,
the same
though.
area.
But he's exhausted his final
Yeah.
final guess. So can I tell the people what it is?
Yeah, I'll let Steph reveal it.
It's Oliver and Company.
Oh, I
Oliver
wouldn't
and
know.
Company.
Would
That's
not have known that.
you were looking
I
right.
Beg
It's
your
okay.
pardon.
these two little
Nicholas.
figures here.
Yeah,
are
I have not seen that.
They're Burger King,
Oh.
Oliver and Company things that I found at the flea market.
Nicholas, that is your homework this evening. You need to go home and watch Oliver
It's kind of
and
sad.
Company.
Not gonna lie, it's kind of sad, but it's
It's so good though. It all get well,
Cheech is in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cheech is in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's this character, the little
Tito.
Chihuahua. Tito.
We love Tito.
But Oliver is a cat. So Oliver and Company is about a cat that was put out in a box with a bunch of other cats. Free cat, take a cat.
And
And
he's the last
Oliver
one that-
didn't get picked.
Yeah.
And his box gets washed away. It starts to rain. And then he proceeds to start to learn the streets. And he meets a buddy named Roscoe that helps him. But a lot of shit goes on after that.
No,
okay.
Roscoe's one of the
Not Roscoe.
Dobermans. You're talking about Dodger.
Dodger. Sorry. Dodger. It's been a while.
I know your favorite movie better than you do, baby.
Yeah.
Dodger.
Well-
Dodger.
Well, cool. Even though, so I know Brianna's not here, but y'all have to guess her favorite movie now.
Oh God.
And it's not Breakfast Club because we've
No.
talked about
No,
that.
we
She loves it,
discussed. Let's see.
She seems to be an 80s fanatic, so I can...
It is not an 80s
I'm surprised you didn't list this one. It's not an 8... Okay,
not
never
an 80s
mind.
movie.
It's not an 80s movie? What
No.
did you think I was going to list, baby?
Back to the Future.
Oh, I do love Back to the Future.
Great movies.
It's a good
yeah.
movie.
I love Back to the
Actually, all of them are pretty good.
Yeah.
It's the same movie over and over.
Wow, shout out to Michael J. Fox. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who almost
so
was
much.
not cast in that role, by the
I
way.
know. They actually
Really?
had started filming
Yeah.
with somebody else. And then...
Like 6 months.
I,
Fuck.
And he didn't...
And he just stole it.
didn't, Well, he just didn't...
He didn't understand
Test
the comedic
well.
aspect
Yeah,
of Michael
he
J.
didn't-
Fox's of the character of Marty McFly. He was trying to be
Yeah.
all serious and stuff. And
It
they
was
didn't
too
really like
serious,
that.
and that-
They needed
Yeah.
some comedy.
They wanted Michael J. Fox first, but he was already
still
committed.
busy with family ties. Yeah.
Okay.
They
that
had
makes
to
sense.
they had to let him finish up his commitment and finish up. I
No,
think
he still
that
had to do it
season.
while he was filming
Yeah.
Back to the Future because he was
Oh, that's
contractually
right.
obligated.
He was pulling.
Yeah,
really
he had to pull
long
double
hours.
duty.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Again,
But,
shout out to Michael J. Fox. Thank you so much for
So
struggling
it's a
through
more
that and giving us,
modern
though.
movie?
It's a modern movie, but I'll say it's a remake.
It's a
It's
remake.
a modern
Yeah.
movie, but it's a remake.
It's a remake.
Okay, we still get 3 guesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it A Star Is Born?
No.
The Parent Trap.
No.
Okay.
Man, going through the 2 guesses early.
Yeah.
What?
It's a remake.
It's a remake of a movie that's a classic movie.
That's a classic movie.
remake.
movie. That's a classic movie.
It's not the new Aladdin.
It's like you really,
right?
you really didn't need to remake it, honestly. But
she likes the remake better.
yeah, oh yeah, and I've actually had disputes with her about it too.
What?
Is it Halloween?
No,
Okay.
Is it?
she loves Halloween. Though.
Is it a horror movie?
No.
Okay.
Although the original has a scene in it that can be perceived as a part of horror. Like, it's actually been in, like, horror top 100s and
I'm
stuff
gonna
like that.
use my last. I'm gonna use my last guess, and this is gonna be kind of off the wall. So if I get it, then way to go, me. Phantom of the Opera. A shame, Bree.
I've already
If you're
used
listening,
to.
we're gonna watch Phantom of the Opera at some point
It's a
because a
remake.
jam. A remake.
It's got something creepy in it.
Yeah. It's like a creepy scene. Like, that it was one of those scenes where, like, the movie's all fun and everything, and then this scene just kind of, like, comes out of nowhere. But I don't know that this scene is in the remake, though. Like, I don't know if they put this specific scene in the remake.
Is it Winnie the Pooh?
No.
Okay. I was thinking about the Heffalump thing.
I'll give you one more.
That was creepy.
Because that was creepy.
One more hint. She loves Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
A remake of a Johnny Depp movie.
No, like Johnny Depp
No.
he's the main character in
Oh,
the
it's
remake.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah, it's Charlie and the Chocolate
Oh.
Factory.
Or Charlie. Well, the
remake
original's
is
Willy Wonka.
Charlie and the
I
Chocolate Factory.
I
And she likes that one better.
She likes that one better
And I
than
can
the
see how
original.
she thinks the original was creepy.
All
Okay,
right.
I
Yeah,
get
because
it.
remember in the original, there's
I get
that
it
scene
now.
where they're going
The
through
boat.
the dark tunnel,
Yeah.
and all those images, and Gene Wilder, and
There's
apparently,
no knowing where
yeah,
we're going.
and apparently the
Yeah.
cast even didn't. Only Gene.
Oh no, the children had no
They had
idea.
no
And
idea,
they
so
were
they wanted-
genuinely terrified.
They wanted authentic reactions, so
Yeah.
only Gene Wilder knew about that
Which
scene.
it was
luckily
all
I think
fake and
we've
shit.
gotten a lot better in our treatment of child stars. Hopefully, I don't know because I
don't
was
know,
never
that's
a
the way to
child
do
star
it,
and I will
though.
never be one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you knew nobody was going to get hurt, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they didn't know that.
Well, it's like in The Shining,
Yeah, but-
Stanley Kubrick made Shelley Duvall the wife or whatever. Like that one scene where she's like swinging the bat at Jack Nicholson. He made her do that like 137 times.
Yeah.
So like her cries in the movie
They're real
are
tears.
genuine because she was so
Tired of
exhausted.
doing
Exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
holy shit.
And now she's like mentally messed up. Like she's still
Yeah.
alive, but she blames Stanley Kubrick for like ruining her life, basically.
Yeah.
holy shit.
But
I
he got a
never
great
knew that.
movie out of it. So
The end does not always justify the means, though. So,
Slippery
slope for
Miss
sure.
Shelley Duvall, I'm so sorry, honey. So sorry.
So
You deserve
so
better.
obviously you like theatrical, even sing along style or musicals, things like that.
Yeah.
And it would make sense as in you've got a degree for theater.
Yeah.
Hamilton.
Okay, so
Hamilton.
I avoided watching Hamilton for a long time
You
because
seen Hamilton, Nick? She showed it to me.
very good.
Very good. Very worth it.
So because when I was in college, there was a period that all anybody could ever talk about was Hamilton, and it irritated the tar out of me. And that's the thing is like I like hype to a certain point. However,
if
there's
10
going
people have
if it's
told
going
you
to be
the same day,
yeah, if it's
it
just
gets irritating.
and if it's all they can talk about, like Frozen, I still do not like Frozen. I saw it at the
I couldn't
drive-in
like
movie
that
theater
movie.
for the first time, and I think I have seen it a grand total of maybe once or twice since. And I am content with never seeing it again, and I have never seen the sequel, and I don't intend to because I just
build a snowman?
No, I
we
fucking
got a song
don't.
out of it. That's it. That's all we got.
And even then, like I'm so sorry.
Do you want to catch these hands?
Yes, like that version.
Do you? What was it? You want to?
Do you want to fight me?
Do you want to fight me? Do you want to
wanna
catch these hands?
Yeah. So, and shout out to whoever wrote that parody because thank you for making that song
was
bearable for me. Yeah, so like I do like Hamilton, and I have been trying to get over my aversion to things that have been hyped up because it does make me miss out on a lot of really good things like Hamilton,
Yeah.
which was incredible. I
Yeah,
really
think-
enjoyed it. It's well written. It was well performed. I saw it when they put it on Disney Plus, and I highly recommend it. It was very nice.
Yeah, it's. I think it's a great way to kind of jump into historical, like, study, I guess. I'm not saying that it's totally end all accurate, so nobody should say that, but it's also a play. So you have to, Shakespeare wasn't always right about the Romans. It's for the show, but there is historical context that you can take from it. And I loved that part. That's just a me thing because I like history. So I would say if there's a musical that you're going to watch that one.
I would also like to throw Sweeney Todd into the ring because
Sweeney Todd's pretty good. That's another. So that was
Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham
and
Carter,
Helena Bonham,
Sacha Baron Cohen, Alan Rickman.
Sacha Baron Cohen. Forgot about that.
Alan Rickman.
Rickman.
Yeah.
Sacha Baron Cohen hits a ridiculous note.
Yeah, he does.
In that movie.
And he was. This is a fun fact that I learned off of the DVD special features. He went into his audition and was like, "Let me hit this note.
Yeah.
I want to hit this note."
He's not a
I
man
want
I
it.
always agree with.
Like
but
a high tenor sort of deal.
Oh,
Like-
It was
honey,
ridiculous.
it's
Yeah.
a note I can't hit.
It's
right?
It's fucking up there, man.
Yeah.
It's he was showing off in that movie. You can tell.
Yeah,
he was
he
showing
was.
off. But also, like I said, he's not a man I always agree with. But he is always
hilarious,
He is
though.
always hilarious.
Yeah.
He's always outperforming anyone. And he's so like he can live a role.
Yeah.
So easily.
Oh yeah.
Like, and you just have to respect a man for that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like if you look at, let's take just the two roles of his that come to mind for me because they're I think the only two
not the
things
same
I've
that come
seen.
for me.
No, because I haven't seen like Borat or anything like
I love
that.
Borat.
So
Hallie G.
I am talking about his roles in Sweeney Todd. Like I fully 100% believe him to be his character in
Oh,
Sweeney
yeah,
Todd. Like,
definitely.
amazing.
He did
and
good.
then he's also in Les Mis.
Yep.
Knocked that
in
out
Les
of the
Mis.
fucking park. Amazing. And like he's just so committed to those roles.
Committed. That's a great way.
And
of
those
putting it.
I
He
would
is
argue that those are even slightly more serious roles than,
Anything
Borat,
he's ever
what I
done.
know of Borat.
The thing with Borat and Ali G not so much, but Borat especially is Borat is literally shot kind of like Jackass is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
just-
kind of the point is like
You are his
whatever
character
happens
and
happens.
they turn him
Yeah.
loose.
Yes. Yeah, and whatever happens happens, but to stay is fully immersed. Like the only other man I've seen do that in real life would have to be like Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
Because he created a character that's similar to him.
And he
Yeah.
commits
you know,
to a
and he commits
bit.
to the bit.
You
Yeah.
Well,
commit to
even
it.
in like
Shout out
Talladega
to Johnny
Nights,
Knoxville.
Oh, he was great in
Sacha
Tal-
Baron Cohen really commits to being a homosexual, like race car
Yeah.
driver.
Well, and
like-
honestly, the accent and everything is not far off of Sweeney Todd. He was very, very good in that world. In Sweeney Todd, he was kind of more of a...
He actually has a very, in real life, he has a very like deep, like British
Mm-hmm.
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And in those roles, he had to have like a French accent.
yeah.
But you could tell he kind of like
Well, it was
bulked
Italian
up.
in
Or Italian.
Sweeney
That's
Todd.
what it was. It's very similar
Yeah.
the way he approached both of those. But he was obviously a lot more built in Sweeney Todd. And then in Talladega Nights, it made sense. He was smaller.
Yeah.
Gentler, rather. And
I want you to say, I love crepes.
No!
I'm not gonna say
I ain't
it.
gonna say that.
I ain't gonna say it.
But nah, he, like, legitimately, when we say he commits to the bit.
And he was
That man
good.
can do it.
He was funny in The Dictator too.
The Dictator is another one of those
Another
where
one
it
I've
was
never
like
seen.
I think there were planned shots, but there were some that were just
Ad-lib.
Yeah.
completely off the cuff. Great actor.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
actor. Okay, well, if you want to hit on some Zodiac stuff, we can. If not, we can go straight into legit or shit. So y'all let
I
me know
would
what
say
you're
that's
feeling.
kind of up to you guys. Like, do you guys want me to talk about zodiac stuff? I don't know what you even mean by that. Like,
Well,
how
just
how deep down this rabbit hole are we going?
Well, I mean,
honey?
we learned a bunch of stuff about me.
Yeah, we could do Nick's birth chart, but that would take a long time.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll save that for the next time I'm
Yeah.
on here.
But yeah. So maybe we should just go into legit or shit.
Yeah,
Or
let's
shit.
just
How's
hop,
that feel?
let's hop right into
I'm
it.
gonna. I have a feeling I'm gonna lose this one. I mean, Stephanie's a teacher, by God. You know.
Well,
So,
I'm also good at what I like to call intuitive bullshit, which is an educated guess.
Don't ever, if you ever play the thing, if you have Jackbox for your PlayStation or Xbox or whatever, and you know, don't ever invite her to play Trivia Murder Party with you because
She'll
you
kick
will,
your ass.
you will
Really,
lose.
I mean, just like
it's very boring. She kicks your ass
you
every
will,
time.
yes, you will lose.
It's either her or Cody.
I'm good at trivia. Yeah, it's usually me
Although
or it's Cody.
Brianna won one time.
Yes,
She
Brianna won.
came from behind and
Every-
kicked everybody's
True.
ass.
Every now and then, I'll win one. I think there's a recorded Smash Fish where I did win one.
Oh, okay.
I
And
wasn't
think I've
playing that
won-
time though.
Yeah, that was before. That might have been before I met
That was
you.
probably before we.
I think that's before we met.
Yeah.
But
Smash Fish.
there was also I miss Smash Fish. I need to do that again. But also too, I think there was another time where you were playing and I got lucky and won. But that's rare. That's very rare. I've got to just have a thing going for me. It's kind of like Mario parties. I've
And
got
shout
like
out to all of my former coworkers that ever played Cahoots with me during
Yeah.
our training. Sorry that I won all the time. Didn't mean it.
that's just the way. Cahoots is like basically like educational trivia murder party.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
basically what it is, that you can use it to educate. But anyways, so legit or shit?
Okay.
Canada is south of Detroit. Legit or shit?
You had
That's
to pick
probably the shortest
You
legit or
had
shit that
to
I've ever
pick
said.
something that had to do with geography, which is literally the thing that I am worst at. But I'm going to say that it's legit because I know that Michigan, if I'm remembering the shape of that state correctly, it kind of juts up into. So I would say that there is probably a portion of Canada that is more south than Detroit. But again, I have no knowledge of
Wait,
geography. I'm not
say it
geographically
again.
inclined.
Canada is south of Detroit. Legit or shit?
I'm actually gonna say shit only because I feel like you're trying to make this a trick question. So I'm gonna say shit.
It is legit.
Oh
It is
man, okay.
legit.
I would say legit, but I felt like maybe you were like doing one of those things where that's too
Sometimes
obvious.
I do
You know?
that. Sometimes I do that. So my explanation for this one is look at a map. Yeah, that's all you got to do. So it's not necessarily that it's like Canada is south of Detroit, like right under Detroit or anything. I'm just saying that like in Canada moves further south than where Detroit sits,
Oh,
if
okay.
that sort of makes sense. So
I have an American geography question for you guys before we turn
Ooh.
off.
Okay.
It was when we used to go play trivia at Castle's Deli. It was a question that I felt just super empowered by that I got right. So,
Okay.
What was it?
huh?
What was it? Let's.
You want to hear it now?
Yeah, let's do it now while we're on the subject.
So this is a question for y'all. So, what American state is closest to? I think it was Africa. I think it was either Africa or Europe.
Closest to Africa.
Which American state kind of sits out the
Is
furthest?
the farthest east.
Yeah.
To Africa?
I feel okay. I have
Is this a trick question?
No.
I have two guesses. It's either Maine or North Carolina.
Well, if it's closest to Africa, then I would say Florida.
Okay. So well, what's your final?
If it's closest to Africa. If it's
I'm-
closest to Europe, then it's probably a northern state.
I honestly don't remember which one. If they said which one,
I'll
I just
know.
remember it being the one that's furthest east.
I'll know when you say the answer. I'll know what
I'm
meant.
gonna go with Maine, but again, I'm not geographically inclined. I don't know.
Stephanie's right. It is Maine.
So
Thank
then it's
you.
probably towards Europe then.
Thank you.
So the question, so everybody in the
Yeah,
group,
because
this
Africa's
was,
like down here and then Maine's up here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Florida's like here and there's Africa.
this was back when I was dating my ex, and then we were playing with Dylan and Rebecca at Castle's Deli one night, and everybody in the table was so sure that it was like North Carolina, and I was like, no, I'm pretty
it
sure
does
it's Maine.
jut out,
Yeah.
but Maine
Yeah.
is closer to like Greenland and stuff.
Sure enough, I got
and
it
so
right.
I was thinking about, because there is a little bit of distortion in a lot of traditional maps.
Yeah.
So I was trying to take that into consideration, and that's why I thought maybe it would be North Carolina. I was trying to take the distortion into consideration, but
It's easy to think that, I would say for sure, because
I would say Maine.
North Carolina does kind of have
It's got a little
a
bit
nipple.
of an ass.
It's got a nipple.
It's got a nipple that kind of juts out into the ocean. But
bit, yeah.
wombats are the only animal whose poop is cube shaped. Legit or shit?
Legit.
That was confident.
Yeah.
All right, then I'm going to say legit too.
It is legit. So this is due to how the intestines form the feces. So the animal then stacks the cubes to mark their territory.
See now, Steph, why do you know that though?
Where'd that come from?
Why do I know that?
Why do you know that?
I accumulate a lot of fun fact knowledge.
So have you gotten 2 right? Is that what's happened?
Yeah.
Holy shit. She's going to 100% this. Oh my God. Why am I empowering this?
Enable.
This is, or enable.
me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Why am I enabling it? Well, and if for the record, if you ever have to play a trivia game with her, this is your warning. This is your warning, because I think she's gonna nail all of these. So legit or shit?
Mm-hmm.
The wedding of Princess Diana and Prince Charles was watched by 750 million people worldwide in 1981.
Repeat that for me.
The wedding of Princess Diana and Prince Charles was watched by 750 million people worldwide in 1981. Legit or shit?
Shit.
I feel like that's shit.
Ooh, I got y'all. It's legit.
Really?
wow.
So, sadly, only
I thought you were going to say a different number of viewers.
Yeah, I figured it was either going to be a different number of viewers or that the date was wrong. That they weren't married in 1981.
you think I was messing with you, and I
Yes.
wasn't.
Well, my
So-
first thought was that Princess Diana and Charles were related and therefore would not have been
that I was
married.
trying
But
to-
then I remembered that that's not how that.
No, that's not. But sadly, 2.5 billion watched her funeral in '97. So, more people watched her funeral than her marriage. Interesting. Number 4,
Okay.
legit or shit? This one's one of those short ones too. Cows have 4 stomachs. Legit or shit?
Legit.
Oh, legit.
It is shit.
Oh!
Really?
It is shit.
I'm
How
not
many do
listening to
they
Stephanie
have?
ever again.
They have this is one of those where like I'm tricking. So they do have, they have 1 stomach, but it has 4 compartments.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily 4 stomachs. It's the same organ,
It's 4 chambers of one
but
stomach.
4 chambers.
Okay.
So that's why people say they have 4 stomachs, is because they have 4 chambers. And last, for legit or shit,
Yeah.
Miss Piggy and Yoda were both voiced by the same person. Legit or shit?
Hold on. I need a second to think about that. Because if this is legit, then that's awesome.
Can you? Y'all might
wanna
yell at
repeat
me
it?
for this, but no, who's Miss Peggy? Piggy.
Miss Piggy?
Nicholas.
Muppet? You're Kermit.
Oh, okay. I didn't really watch the Muppets.
His,
that much.
his nickname's Kermit.
What the hell?
Well, and it was
Nicholas?
Gonzo at one time too.
It was Gonzo.
It was Gonzo.
Uh,
I like Gonzo better than Kermit. I think you're more fitting of Gonzo.
Who are you people?
What do you mean?
You like Gonzo?
No,
more than you
for
like-
his nickname.
Okay, I was like,
I think
excuse
that's
me.
more
I love
well,
all the Muppets equally. Thank you.
Some people call him Kermit, but I know him way back in the day when his nickname was Gonzo.
Yeah.
I would say
So,
that Gonzo's probably a little.
I think
more
that's a little more
appropriate.
fitting for you.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna-
with that.
I'm gonna go with legit.
You're just not quite as. You're not. And I don't mean any offense by this, but you're not
You just
quite
got
as.
more energy than Kermit does.
Well, you're just not.
That's just
You're not wholesome enough to be Kermit.
oh.
Again, I mean no disrespect, but you're just.
I just think Gonzo's more fitting for you.
Yeah.
That's what I just think.
Yeah.
But anyways, is it legit or shit, huh?
I say legit.
Legit?
Yeah.
It is legit. They are both done by puppeteer Frank Oz, which I think has done many, many voices. I need to look that up. Let's see. How many Frank Oz?
Just look up his IMDb. Shout out to IMDb. You've helped me learn a lot.
Well, there we go. So yeah, he's done a lot of Muppet stuff. Let's see. Well, okay. So yeah, so he was Dante in Echoes of Violence. He was Yoda in a Star Wars video game. Most Yoda stuff he's been. He's also Cookie Monster during the 50 Years and Counting on Sesame Street.
Which means he was probably Cookie Monster from way back.
He was Alan Stevens in Knives Out.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. He was in Knives Out. That was a good movie.
That was a good movie. If you
great
haven't
movie.
seen Knives Out, highly recommend it.
I recommend. Inside Out. Subconscious Guard Dave. I don't remember the subconscious
That's a side.
guard.
That's a very, very minor character in Inside Out.
Burt Grover and Cookie Monster. It looks like he's been a lot more though.
Burt Grover, Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
Miss Piggy.
Miss Piggy.
Yeah. I do love Miss Piggy. I am Miss Piggy.
Let's see.
Which technically would make you Kermit.
I guess I'm not Kermit.
Kermit.
I don't even do like a good Kermit voice, so you know.
Kermit the Frog here.
Bye guys.
Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog. I think Cody does a pretty good Kermit. He does a lot of good voices.
His plankton is top notch.
Blues Brothers 2000. He was the warden.
Okay.
He does a lot of Bert. Fozzie. He's done Fozzie Bear before. Animal. Yeah, he's great. Let's just say you're just great, sir.
Yeah. Shout out to Frank Oz. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for giving us all the good content.
So much content.
Alrighty. So, how are we feeling?
About what?
Everything. Just have we got it all out?
Content.
Yeah.
As it
feel
came
all
out?
right.
Awesome. Well, it's been great. Thanks for joining us, Steph. And I'm sorry, Miss Brianna
Bree
didn't
wasn't
make it.
here.
But we'll get you on the next one. And hopefully it'll be better timing. Well, that's our show. And I think we can say that Steph won that.
Yeah.
I think she got, 3 and you got 2?
I think the ones she got wrong, I got wrong too.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Steph, you are victorious. One of these days I will have a present or some sort of award to bestow upon people. But until then, you just get these bragging rights. So
That's what I usually get.
it's been 2 weeks. We'll see you in 2 more. Y'all have a great evening. Doses.
Ah.
That's what
Prepare to get disarranged.